welcome to today's reading where we'll be answering the prompt, how do people feel about you? As I open up my meditation for your pile, I hear open, expansive, and interestingly enough, firebrand. That's not something I would expect after those first two descriptors. But the cards that we first pull for you as well, chaos and support. You wouldn't expect chaos after support. I'm getting you're the sort of person that has archangel energy about you. Earth angel energy is quite soft and loving and supportive. Archangel energy is the same, but it also has a firmness to it. It also has a strength to it. And I'm getting the energy of you bringing necessary tower moments about in, like, the people around you's lives. Like, they sort of have to happen for them to remain in your life. The support card and the chaos card reads, I'm here to support and elevate you while expecting nothing in return. And chaos reads, I'm a magnet for trouble. It's not my fault. I leave a trail of mayhem behind me. I'm getting like the only thing you really expect from people is, I'm just hearing transparency. But people sort of feel, it's interesting, I feel like you're very transformative. People view this as like chaotic though. They may actually feel like you don't have like that much direction to the chaos. But I get the sense that within you, it's very orchestrated. Also, if it's relevant to any of you, I chose this like jade star for your pile. So let's see how else people feel about you. How do people feel about you? How do people feel about you, pile? I'm hearing like carefree, and some people, and I see 222 on my timer as I say that. Yeah, I'm hearing carefree, and it's like some people mistakenly view this as careless. It's interesting because I think you interest a lot of people, but I was gonna say it's interesting because I feel like you have a soft voice, but like, just like the contradiction of like support and chaos, it's like some people interpret you for some reason as being very loud. We have coming out for you, how people feel about you. People feel that you are very spiritual. You invoke also a sense of nostalgia for those who meet you. You feel like a childhood friend. People feel dissected by your eyes. We just have like piercing gaze coming out. We also have graceful posture. These are so interesting. You have a lot of like, I'm hearing dichotomy. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but you have a lot of like paradox about you. Okay, and we also have long hair. People think you are very beautiful, and I'm hearing you're naturally beautiful. But it's like, what was that? Graceful posture and piercing gaze. You have this soft energy about you, and then you might meet someone's eyes and they're like, whoa, whoa, hold on. That's funny. People might think because of this, like, I'm hearing dichotomy again. I don't know what that means, you guys. But people might think because of this paradox that you exist within, your softness and what people are also perceiving as like a piercing, harshness in some cases, this chaos and support, piercing gaze and graceful posture. People may assume that you have like manipulative intentions. You have very naturally beautiful features. That keeps coming out. We have like long nails came out, but long hair also came out, and I just heard psychically long eyelashes. And even if these things aren't exact traits of yours, what I'm really getting as a whole is just that you are very naturally beautiful. It like comes to you by nature. People think you wake up like this and you were born like this, even if you try like very hard to achieve the look that you have. Even if it took a lot of time to get to where you are. And I just had to stop to clear my throat there. And as I did that, it was 5:33 on my timer. You know, you've faced a lot of change, and you've really mastered your internal world. And I'm getting, when it comes to your beauty, you've went through a lot of change, and you've mastered like what looks best on you. But people don't necessarily understand like what's behind the curtain. They're just seeing the show. 555 on my timer as I say that. You're someone who's very like, you've become, I'm hearing, very punctual in some way. Punctual about showing up for yourself. That's really amazing. We have manipulative trying to make an appearance again, but it's in the reverse. You know, I just take that as a confirmation that you are not manipulative, even though people may feel this way about you. People get the sense that you are like a playful energy, and also they feel like you have been through a lot that you don't speak about. Okay, you have multiple traits that indicate like youthful energy comes out. And I wanted to see, oh, I definitely get the sense, because I sense your softness and how deep your spirit like runs within you. You don't want to be misinterpreted as someone that's harsh. You know, I think you want to be interpreted as someone who cares very deeply. So even though this is a little bit off topic, I'm going to do this special for you. I want to see, you know, what sort of energy can you put forward perhaps to help align your image with how you feel inside? What sort of energy can you put forth to align your outward image with your internal feelings? Okay, these are the cards that fly out for us, okay? Past and amusement. And what I'm really getting is people that have exited your life, you know, misinterpret you. It's all with purpose. And I'm also getting, to get people to see you correctly is just to continue to show up with, you know, in full honesty. Continue to show up as yourself. People see you as like very helpful. You're like the friend that they can count on, I'm hearing. People see you as like, again, we have Machiavelli coming out. The key words on this are beware, you know, it says there's a warning on this to beware of manipulation and deception. The key like images here are chessboard, cloak. People think you're like not showing all your cards and that you're playing like a very strategic and intellectual game. Like you know, you're playing chess socially. They think you are, people feel like you are political. And how like you politic socially, not necessarily like you have political interests, although you can. But how it's really coming up to me here is like you politic in between people. Like, yeah. see you, though, it's interesting. We have Alexander the Great, Socrates, Nelson Mandela, and Julius Caesar coming out. These people are, Alexander the Great is known as the undefeated king. You're also known as someone who questions things. But it's all with intention. So you're known as a peacemaker. You're also known as the empire builder. Okay, people look at you and they know you are building something very great. And it's interesting. We have two rulers here. A philosophical person and like I can't think of a word for Nelson Mandela, but like an advocator. You know, I'm getting like saintly vibes from you. 11:11 on my timer as I say that. The biggest energy though from these entities is that you're building something very big. And I'm just hearing Rome wasn't built in a day. People know like what you're working on has a longevity to it. Like you're on a path and you're going to be on it for a while because you're building something and it's a focused build. People look at you as someone who is very innocent. Spiritual is coming up again. It's like people, you know, even if you don't wear like your spirituality on your sleeve, I'm getting the sense that people would call you, you know, you're someone who people would say is very soulful. You know, I'm getting the sense that you might like old music and like blues and like I'm hearing like classical music, but Daisy and Lotus make an appearance, okay? People see you as someone like, you know, I'm just hearing like you're someone people want to have in their court. And I'm getting like a royal court. Like people view you as someone that is like very regal. And also something that's self-sustaining. You're like, I'm hearing like a powerhouse. I just heard mitochondria. But again, even with this Lotus here, beware of superficiality. I'm getting people are really triggered by your power. But you are seen by many to be a very loyal friend. Okay, someone that's fun to play with. I'm hearing like laughing and people want to laugh with you, and I get the sense that people love your laugh. You may have actually had people, compliment and people try to make fun of your laugh. And the make fun of is the energy of people that are like seeing you as potentially manipulative or someone who's political. When you exit people's lives for whatever reason, they can't help but remember you like eternally. Oh, that's really weird. I just stopped I paused my phone recording, and when I came back to press record again, it was like saying pause, but the time was frozen. But it only shows pause when you can pause it. Like when you come back to start recording again, it should show the record button. That was interesting. As I was collecting more cards though to pull from. I was hearing the song Dreamweaver. I'm not sure who sings it, but oh, Dreamweaver, I believe you can take me through the night. You know, people think you are a dreamweaver, and you get people through their storms. You help people weather their storms. Aw. You guys are like really sweet. You do not deserve to be misunderstood. But, you know, I think I'm someone who believes that everything happens for some reason, even if we don't understand the reason. And, you know, I think there's some development that will come from your misunderstanding. So, gosh, am I driving you guys crazy yet? We have another manipulation card coming out. People really think you're manipulative. People definitely understand, like, you have an element of power. I think you may even not recognize, like, how much power you have, which is really interesting because it's undeniable to everybody around you. And many people assume, you know, you're hardly aware, I'm getting, of your power. So it's just kind of funny that so many are assuming that you're abusing it because you're not even like aware of it, honestly, barely. If at all. So this card though is actually like a message to you to release things that restrict you. Release things that bind you in an unfavorable way. The truth of how, like, when people see you in your truth though, you're someone who is okay with doing the hard, like, you do shadow work. You do shadow work for yourself so deeply that it, like, exudes and forces the people in your environment to face their shadow. You do this, I'm definitely hearing, for the sake of truth and transparency. You also just seek the unknown. Like, I'm getting the image of, like, you seeking out, like, dark crevices. And it's not like, okay, that's interesting. I'm getting a lot of words with you that I don't know the meaning of, but I just heard it's not in a sycophant way. I don't know what that means. I don't even know if that makes sense. But I was hearing it like that. It's not in a sycophant way. It's, what I was really wanting to say though is, you don't seek out these darknesses. Ooh, that's interesting. So it's like people see that you seek out darkness and they're like, ooh, that's dark. They're dark. They're manipulative. They want to abuse power. They want to understand power so that they can abuse it. And they have a lot of power. You know, you instill fear in people just inherently because of that. And I think that's why people view you in a manipulative way. But I'm getting that, you seek out these things, these dark shadows, slightly out of curiosity, but also for the sake of illumination. And then elimination, I'm hearing. You help people though, like, forgive themselves because you're so forgiving. You're so accepting. I just heard, like, you love unconditionally. You help people, like, feel fresh. Yeah, it's coming up again. We have 3 of Wands coming out, okay? You're someone who, like, anticipates future opportunities and growth. Like, you prepare in the present moment for those future moments. Okay, and it's interesting because with all the work that you do, you remain a clean slate. I'm hearing you don't have any baggage. People want to know how you do what you do. That is coming out. People want to know how you, I'm just hearing, how do they do it? And I'm also getting the feeling, ooh, that did not feel good. Okay. People, when they feel that, sometimes feel very envious. That felt really bad. You know, when you trigger these emotions in people, it's really like the ways in which that they are unhealed. So do your best to not take it personal and remain that soft-hearted person that you are. You are so beautiful. Your energy is like succulent. Succulent, dude. It is so like, you are a nectar for the soul, for the heart, for the mind, for the body, like for the eyes. In every way, you exude and embody beauty. You are so beautiful. Yeah, on the bottom of the deck, you know, the energy here, we have Destiny coming out. Wheel of Fortune, North Star, Crossroads. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. It is not a thing to be waiting for. It is a thing to be achieved. And there is a angel number coming through, 568. Maintain balance in all aspects of life. You know, and I feel that was coming through earlier in a little bit, and we already talked about that a little bit, but I forget in what sense I mentioned that. But let's see, how do people feel about you, pile 2? What else? Pile 2, that's interesting. Pile 1, I mean. Sorry about that. So we have, people think you're really funny. You know, that isn't mentioned enough. I think you have a sort of humor that people are like kind of surprised about. Like, you know, I get the sense that you're kind of quiet, and then I get the sense that you process a lot internally. You observe a lot, and you might not speak. You think more than you speak, and you're actually like really witty. And I get the sense that when you crack a joke, it is so good and also so unexpected. Okay, I stepped away for just a moment. I keep having to clear my throat with your guys' pile, which is a little unusual. So I feel like you may find yourself in situations where you have to explain yourself a lot. People definitely pick up, okay, we have Chastity, earlier Lotus Flower and Daisy, and also now Glass Slipper. People do sense like the purity about you and the fragility to you. We also have Court Jester showing up. Okay, you're someone who can entertain the whole, like, it doesn't, if you are in front of a room of people, the joke that you make hits with everybody. Okay? And I get the sense that you don't even try. You just have a sense of authority about you. We also have Celestial Scroll coming out, representing manifestation, cosmic power, transformation. You know, you feel very connected to a higher power. Like, you feel sort of otherworldly in the ability you possess. Let's see how else people feel about you, pile 1. Your reading has been really fun for me so far. You navigate the shadow like so fluidly, I'm hearing. To the 2-minute mark on my timer, I have to say that. That some of your humor I'm getting is like sarcasm in the way that it holds like an opposition mirror to things. like some of your wisdom too is because your perspective is just from you flipping things the other way around to gain perspective. Like, it's hard to describe, but I was trying to think of an example, but it's hard to think of an example. But essentially, sometimes as a measure of checking things, the reality of things, you flip it on its end. You position it in an opposite way to see if that reality, like how that reality maintains itself still. That's interesting. You're someone who is like very hospitable though. Okay, people like are actually they desire to interact with you. It's just, as I said earlier, like a lot of people have fear for you. 3, 2, 1 on my timer as I say that. A lot of people have fear and like they don't take the steps forward. They don't possess that, like they view you and all your power and you exude authority. Okay, oh yes, while I was away I heard born king. Baby king. It's like you were born with this this essence. Okay, like I think you commanded a presence even as a baby. You know, you just may not know about it because no one wants to tell. No one, especially a jealous person, but and especially if you were surrounded by jealousy or like fearful people, no one would want you to know how you make people feel, because it would empower you. You know, fear and jealousy instills like competition. It instills a power struggle like within the relationship. But the power struggle is all on their end. And I'm getting for you, like you may not even realize people are like having the struggle against you. And it's a surprise actually when people are like, it's a surprise when unexpected people reveal themselves as adversaries, because you don't view people as adversaries. I just heard you don't have any enemies, but your enemies have you. Also, people feel like you are like a master manifester, I'm hearing. You know, it kind of spooks people out, like your ability to create. What you think, dream, speak of, you create effortlessly, I'm hearing. It terrifies. Oh my gosh, y'all. Literally on the bottom of the deck, okay, underlying energy, actor, actress, performance, theater, mask. People, oh my gosh. People really misjudge you. I keep having to clear my throat with your pile. I'm getting the feeling you may feel pressured and pulled to like over explain and over defend yourself and remain on the offensive. But these are like distractions, honestly, to your path. Just focus on yourself, okay? Like your spirit team, your higher self wants you to know, just focus on yourself. Don't focus on people that create competition with you. Don't focus on people that don't see you in your truth. You're someone who brings like order and justice to your environment, okay? 606 on my timer as I say that. And people are highly intimidated by that. Like you hold people accountable. People have to show up truthfully when they appear in your life. This is very interesting. We have politician coming out. What did I tell you earlier? People feel like you politic. Okay. We have leadership, influence, governance. Podium, flag, vote, ballot. I'm just hearing like people are very allegiant to you. Like you have, I just saw like an army of people like standing very properly with like their I don't know what the stance is called, but like their hand was to their forehead, saluting. They were so like saluting you, like an army of people in uniform. Like you have people, maybe even more than you realize actually, and maybe even I'm getting some of these figures that are jealous that would at the drop of a hat like do your bidding essentially. And I don't feel like you would misuse that power. People realize, like, your capacity to train people to their highest potential. Okay, we have personal trainer coming out. You're disciplined and motivated, and you help discipline and motivate others. And the reason they trust you is because they also see you as the carpenter. People feel, you know, very innately, and this is their truth, this is their intuition telling them this, okay, that you are someone building something that's unseen to the eye in the moment, but, you know, when you're doing a woodworking project, it's a vision at first. And it takes a long time for it to manifest into the exactness of that vision. Like, people know that's the sort of energy that you're on. And they know this intuitively, okay? Their body is like telling them to trust you. And I'm getting, like, with this chemist coming out, you know, you are okay with, like, experimenting, doing trial and error. And I'm hearing, like, a lot of you have, oh, wow. So you've clocked, like, in your environment, every lesson that the people around you have learned, so you don't have to learn those lessons. So the lessons that you're learning, I'm hearing taboo for some reason, but it's like, this is like the lessons that you learn are frontier lessons for everybody else around you, because they're stuck learning the lessons that you learned from them. Okay. And it's like, because you're not learning those same lessons, you're learning different lessons than they've seen before. And so I'm just hearing, like, mad scientist and mad hatter, crazy, off their rocker. All that's coming out. Ooh, and I just got the image of a rocker, like, rocking, like, without a person in it, like in a ghostly way. You know, people feel very haunted by you. Your energy, when you remove your like 3D body, your spirit lingers with people. Woo. It's interesting because, like, when you leave, your spirit stays behind with people. And it's not in a way that it's like, it's your spirit isn't coming with you. Your spirit is so, like, powerful, it lingers in that way. It's like it haunts people. And, you know, in that sense, people are never without you. And it's interesting because people will, like, study this energy that remains with them, and they still feel that they have no grasp on what it is that you are. We have, this is really cool, salesperson, marketing specialist, economist. Salesperson, marketing specialist. You know, if you are a salesperson, Perkin. That may be a name. If you're a salesperson, though, marketing is something you would love to know. And it's like, ooh, I'm getting, like, also with this economist. You're someone who sees the big picture and gets down into the nitty gritty. Okay, I just got the image of someone, like, twisting their feet deeper and deeper and deeper into, like, a sand. Like, they just keep twisting and twisting. You're okay with being, like, going through abrasion to maintain a vision. Like, you will let go of comfort. People witness this in you. That's why they're kind of scared, actually. Oh my gosh. People are scared of you because they're like, holy cow, this person is that willing to be uncomfortable to get to where they're going. Like, I can't let go of my this. I can't let go of my that. You know, your ability to, that's so funny. Your ability to, withdraw. I'm hearing it like that for some reason. People are baffled by it. And ultimately, we have real estate agent here. Okay, people feel like you hold the keys. and they really want those keys. The keys that you hold feel unattainable to others. Ooh. So we have how people feel about you. We have off the Powerpuff Girls, him, which is like that red character that kind of has like heels for feet. I don't know if they're actually like heels or if like their feet are just shaped like that. But you know, look at how much strength this character has, the intelligence. You know, you're a born leader, but people don't feel like you're compassionate at times. Okay, they feel fearful, and that's why they feel like you're manipulative. Okay, we've discussed this before. This is what I found interesting though. You bring people's inner fears to the surface. Okay, you ask people to face their shadows, but what you lead people to is a reclamation of their own personal power. If people stick it through with you, they see like their truth, and when people see their truth, they see your truth. Through my fears, I find my strength. You have a very like stable, reliable energy about you. Okay, you also make an appearance as Sandy Cheeks off SpongeBob. Okay, Sandy is very intelligent. She's adventurous. One of the things that sticks out to me from that character that I'll never forget is she does karate. And also, oh, this is very sweet. She's a squirrel that that just reminded me of this video I watched the other day of French people trying to enunciate English words that were like difficult for their tongue to deliver. One of those words being squirrel. Okay, and it's like people feel like you're difficult to you know, you're difficult in that way, but I'm trying to capture like what it is that's difficult about that. You're very difficult to like process, and then you're also difficult to emulate. So like because people find it difficult to emulate you, you know, you're difficult to understand. You feel unattainable in that sense. And there's something like scary about that. But Sandy is from Texas, and she lives in the bottom of the ocean, and she uses like a fishbowl, like I think it's actually like a spacesuit, actually, her whole outfit. She wears a spacesuit at the bottom of the ocean because she's a squirrel. All her friends though are sea creatures. So it's like you are sort of like from outer space amongst, you know, I'm just getting like you're like sort of like, you know, Sandy's from the land. You kind of represent yourself, and people feel like you are and you offer like a higher intelligence. Okay, you come from something higher. You know, like sea level is literally lower than the land. It may take a lot, like I'm getting like, you know, it may take a lot, just like Sandy. It may take a lot of protection for you to survive. And like, I'm getting like, your first hurdle in life may have been just like a survival hurdle. Like you figuring out how you can survive in your environment. But Sandy has a combination of intellect and physical ability. She's a reminder to balance brains and brawn. And we have coming out here as well. Ooh, I love this. So people, ooh, okay, that's really interesting. For you, I love this coming out for you because I feel like it is a accurate representation of like your softness. We have Bubbles coming out from the Powerpuff Girls. Softness is a strength. Her superpower is the sonic scream, a burst of raw emotion that clears. Okay, like your emotions are sacred. Your anger, your sadness even, your emotions are like elixirs for manifestation. And not to say like I'm not saying I'm advocating for you to be mindlessly angry, but it's like when things push you to anger, that really manifests change. When things push you to sadness, that really manifests change in your life. The truth of you is that you radiate kindness even in challenging times. And I love this coming out for you as well. We have Coraline Jones coming out. The seeker of truth. This is your truth. You are fueled by determination. I said this to you earlier. You're stronger than you realize. You know, Coraline Jones coming out. Coraline Jones really has to learn like to trust herself in that movie. So many things aren't what they seem, and also she deals with like, you know, the other world in that movie. And so there's a lot of like, you know, it's like the laws of Coraline's world doesn't abide by like the laws of physics, you know. There's like a lot of there's like a lot of strangeness to her world. I can't think of like a better way to describe that, but it's like, it's not trippy necessarily, although you could say it is trippy, I guess, but it's like, you know, there's like an eclecticism to it, and I can't think of like the word, but I hope you guys are understanding. I mean, I'm sure if you're picking this pile, you know the feeling that I'm discussing, and it's like there's a lot of illusions. There's a lot of, you know, it feels like a circus. It feels like the whole world feels like, but there's also something dark about it as well. We have the other mother coming out too, you know, and I feel like this is the people who view you incorrectly, you know, because they don't stand in their truth. They don't see you in yours. These people are tempted by you still. As much as they are envious, as much as they are triggered, as much as they are anything like without clarity towards you, they are that much and that deeply on the opposite end drawn to you. Okay, I get the sense that those people especially may particularly obsess like over you. Although you have obsessive figures positively and, you know, on that end of the spectrum too. But it's like on both ends of the spectrum, you have obsessive personalities interested in like you and your energy, the essence you exude. Bottom of the deck energy from an earlier deck we were going over too is Enchanted Amulet, Illusion, Deception, Hidden Power. So it's like people think, you know, I told you earlier, like you may not realize, if at all, the power that you have. 2112 on the timer. This is something that you are supposed to transform into. Okay, when I see numbers that mirror like that, like this is just an example, like 4114. 3113, 5115, just anything that mirrors, like it mirrors just like that. It's like you are aligned with your path and purpose, and the cosmos and the universe is reflecting back to you, and you reflect back to it in like this loop. And people, another way, you know, but anyways, you may not have like a full awareness of all that happening. You just feel like, you know, you're in the right place at the right time. And this may appear in your life as being really thankful. You know, I think you're someone who's really thankful for everything. And, you know, you may see the bright side even when things are dark. And so people think like your humbleness is actually like you in preparation to like dispense a hidden power. They witness all this power about you, and they're, you know, they're triggered by that, and they're like, there's no way they don't witness this. And I'm not gonna tell them. People that are triggered by you have no desire to like, to compliment you on your capacity. And another way that they're triggered by you is they feel like you're dangerous is because of your beauty. People assume you have like intentions because of your looks. And I just heard the song. I think it's Kid Cudi. I think this is the first song, or it's either the first or the second song that I heard from Kid Cudi. This song was so, it's still good. But when I first heard it, it was one of those things that I was like obsessed with. But it's Day and Night. I was hearing day and night. Bow, bow. I'm sorry, y'all, I have to do that part. I don't know the next line. Dun 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 at night. Day and night. You guys, okay. On the bottom of this deck, day, night. Okay, let's open that one up next. Alright, how do people feel about pile 1? You know, people have very, like, polarizing views of you, is what I'm getting from that. But I think it would be highly worth looking up the lyrics of that song, because I can't remember the lyrics of that song, and it was, like, flowing. When I was picking out the rest of the cards, that was coming through, like, it was coming through very strong. Ooh, we have small, big coming up. You know, people want to minimize. They don't want you to get too big for your britches, is what I'm hearing. Because they already feel like you're too big for your britches. They want to, like, minimize. I'm hearing nip this in the bud while they still have a chance. Because right now, they're hoping that you don't recognize your power, but they're still scared that you do, and that you're just hiding, like, some vision. Because you have such big visions. They're like, they must see all, they must know all, even about themselves. How could they not? You know, you're like, you have the energy of someone that doesn't realize, like, that they're beautiful. But, like, everybody else around them is like, of course they know they're beautiful. How could they not? It's, like, undeniable. How could they not? I'm getting the, I'm actually getting the image of, I forget her name, but I feel like it was Kira or Kieran or something. It was off 90 Day Fiancé. She was from Brazil, I believe. She was so beautiful. Oh my gosh, she looks like an angel. An angel. And, you know, that's really interesting because that girl's story is, I would say, highly taboo. The guy that marries her on that show, like, found her in her town while he was on a, like, religious mission. And he, like, found her in her town when she was, like, 12 or 13. And he came back for her later when she was of age. But, that's, interesting because earlier, as I was getting the day and night, I was getting, like, there's some sort of, like, taboo sexual energy around you. And I don't know how to place it. I don't know if it's your energy or, like, the energy surrounding you, but, like, people just feel like your sexuality is taboo in some sense. I'm not really sure. And we have soft hard coming out. How better of a card to make an appearance? Soft upright, because that's your truth. But some people want to see you like this. They would love if you were this. If you were this, you're in, you know, you're in the minimized position. Your softness has escaped you, but it hasn't, and it never will. People can't forget you. Like, you're unforgettable. You have an unforgettable face. I'm hearing, like, even to strangers, you're like the sort of person that people pass by and they think about you for the rest of the day, and they may even think about you, like, months later, weeks later, years later. You may stick with strangers in that capacity. Like, something about your energy and, like, the essence that you contain it triggers people on like a subconscious level. You are like a passing muse. Okay, you guys. Yes. Of course, we had more cards come out about manipulation and deception. We're not going to go over them. Let's see what else wants to come out. How do people feel about you, pile one? Ooh. Oh, okay. Ooh, people are very split about you. People are very split about you. Ooh, you are the light. People feel like they're moths. Oh my gosh. When people come to you, it may be because they're allured by you, and then they're like, oh, wait a second. I have to seek inner wisdom. I'm just a moth. I was trying to find the light myself, okay? But I wasn't trying to be the light. Oh my gosh, we have moth coming up again. Surrender. People feel like when they come to you, they have to surrender to being the moth. That's really funny. That's really funny. People don't want to admit, 28 on my timer as I say this, people don't want to admit that they need you, that they want you, that they're inspired by you. And I don't know. It's like, you know, you are this light, which is sort of just like a non-physical, you know, it's like, it's something that exudes. It's not necessarily something that manifests physically. It's interesting to think about what a light does. Like, you know, a light just adds, how can I explain that? Before you, it's all dark. After you, everything is lit up. There's not necessarily a physical manifestation to that other than your body. But yes, what I'm actually speaking of, though, is your essence. Your essence is like ethereal. Okay? People are very drawn to it, and then they're like, it's like the moth comes to you and then they're like, wait a second, I didn't know this was going to be a lesson on how to become the light. I didn't know I was going to have to, it's like people come to you. Ooh, the people that come to you to use you realize that they have to be self-sufficient, and that sort of upsets them and also throws them off. You know, it's like, to be together with you, people need to be independent, and that really throws off the people that want to just come and be dependent upon your essence. You're incredibly playful. Okay, we have Rosy Maple Moth coming out. And it's interesting because, you know, you yourself are a moth that's transformed into the light. That's what I'm getting. That's so beautiful. Ooh, and next we have Leaf Insect Camouflage. You know, people don't realize, like, the transformation that you've undergone. They're, like, looking at you in your final form. This is perfect. Your final form is fearless, assertive, and inspiring. Okay, we have Tarantula Wasp, and Firefly. Okay, how better to describe the energy than that? You have the ability to overcome your deepest fears with confidence and courage. Now is the time to assert yourself with clarity and confidence. Allow your inner brilliance to guide you forward. You ask people to do that as well, like for themselves. And when people, you know, haven't done that yet for themselves, you might face a lot of projections, you know, like that's why people think you're aggressive, because they haven't stepped up to themselves in that way. And like you have, and your energy, it just inherently asks people to do that as well. Ooh, I love this coming out for you. How people feel about you. Handprint on glass. Speaking about being haunting. You know, when you exit people's lives, there's like traces of you left behind that they can't erase. And also, these people, a lot of times that get left behind, they may not take those, you know, they get left behind for a reason. And they stay stuck in those patterns. People who get left behind, they choose to stay in the patterns. And because of that, it's like this handprint on glass that's left behind. It's like they look at that as like a negative entity. Even then, you know, even in your absence, people fear you. We have coming out for you, though. How do people feel about you? Mermaid, mystery, beauty, allure, intuition, enchantment, feminine power, emotional power. Ooh. I just got the image of like long hair in water. That is very like true to your energy as I see it. It's like mesmerizing and hypnotizing. And in that way, people's defenses are dropped. And people that are very like full of defense, you know, that's another way that triggers them. It's like they're like, what is happening to me? I'm just hearing like people, you know, those people may have felt like, I just heard like succubus, but it's like those people may have felt like you're a siren in a bad way. 33 on my timer as I say that. It's like people definitely, everybody acknowledges like you are a siren, but like the people who aren't healed view that as like the sort of siren that lures you to your death. Okay? I think you use like your sirenhood as a way to just manifest. Okay, and not in a manipulative way. It's just sirenhood is a magnetism. And you use that magnetism like dutifully, and you use it like honorably. You are like a siren I wouldn't mind encountering like in the lagoon. You know, and I'm actually getting like which these mermaids are really mean actually. But like the mermaids off Peter Pan, the way in which that they are like drawn and depicted is much softer than like siren lore. Okay, and I'm getting like you're actually the sort of siren that's like you may be like really isolated. I'm not seeing you in like a group of sirens that's like predatory. I see you as isolated and with like a huge heart, and you sing like a very soft, caring song. Okay, you still lure people in, but because you're a siren, they're like, oh, I know when I get up close, the teeth are going to be all fangs. And, you know, this thing's going to devour me. More people than approach you want to approach you. More people than you have approach you want to. And I get like some of the people who have approached you have like approached you against their own will, and it's because they've been so allured by you. It's like they were trying to steer their ship away, seeing you as a siren, but like their ship was like pulling them closer and closer in, and they were like doing everything they could to like not have that ship come in, but like people can't help the way in which you pull them in at times. We have, this is so perfect, stormy sea and ocean floor, turmoil, challenge, foundation, and grounding, though. Emotional upheaval, trials, testing, strength, eventual calm, stability, grounding in reality, the base of emotions, support for growth. People may, you know, stop short of seeing your full truth is what I'm getting. But I think at a subconscious level, they recognize it. They're just not in the position yet within themselves to embody and be around that sort of energy in a way that doesn't feel like their life is in danger. You know, they're still like, you know, it's like they feel like their way of living is threatened, and their way of living is a comfortable way of living, and you're not worried about comfort. You live in cold waters, isolated, and you entertain yourself in this lagoon. I'm getting like the image of you like resting in your swim spot, and you're like kind of just brushing your hair. You're very meditative. You're someone who, like, grants wishes. You know, people recognize, like, you have, like, magic within you. People, like, look for flaws in you and they don't see any. But they really search, especially after they search and they don't see any, then they really start searching. They're like, wait a minute, there has got to be one. There is definitely one in there. I'm like riddled with them. But that's just their insecurities. Like, you have insecurities too. You just, you know, you do a lot of shadow work. You do it naturally. Like, you do it in a way that, you don't even necessarily recognize it. It's like the nature of you. People project when they don't want to show up for themselves and, like, step up to the pedestal of being their most empowered self. They project that you have, like, lack of direction, you know, but they want to say, like, you don't know what you're doing, so that they feel better about not following your lead. And again, it's coming out like that you politic. And it's also coming out existential crisis. You know, people want to, the people that don't want to see you in your truth because they can't see themselves in their truth yet, they will, like, stop short at your full truth so that they can only see, like, the muddy bits. They don't have to look at the lotus flower. Like, they'll just ignore the lotus. They're like, well, it's surrounded by mud. You know, I'm not even interested in the lotus. That's such a projection. I'm hearing too, like, you set a lot of boundaries and people like, you really make people insecure. People will tell themselves, like, I didn't want to mess with them anyways, or, you know, when you cut people off, they tell themselves, like, it was them. And you may have even cut people off only for them to make amends so that they could turn around and cut you off. Oh my gosh. That is ridiculous. But it's a way for them to feel, like, empowered over the situation, because with you, they feel powerless. Okay. That's so interesting. You know, you just keep being you, pile one. Alright, what else wants to come out? Ooh. Okay, is there anything more to say? We're going to pull out from a couple more different decks, but, you know, this is what we've been talking about. You bring transformation. It makes people compete for your energy. It makes people compete with you. But your ultimate truth is just to transform. You aren't a competitive person. You're highly innocent. You're highly moral. Like, guided by your moral compass, I'm hearing. Beautiful. I'm hearing too, like, you've dealt with, I don't know why it's coming out like this, but it's just how I heard it, and I have no other context, but you've dealt with a lot of twisted love. I'm not exactly sure what that means. And I'm getting the image of, like, vines creeping their way up a house and, like, making an effort to encase this house. It's like the people that are most threatened by you want to possess you, want to contain you, and want to understand you, but it's like for their personal gain. And at the very same time, like we said earlier, you know, these people will, like, minimize and misunderstand you on purpose. And it's to comfort themselves. You're a pioneer and a leader. Okay, we have Ace of Swords coming out. The key word on this is alpha, original, dominance. Okay, I'm hearing, like, born king again. But the moon and the Fool are great indicators of your energy, actually, like your innocence and the allure that you contain. You allure on like a subconscious level. Okay, people don't understand what it is about you that they're so drawn to. Okay, and also I'm hearing like you are a lucky charm for people. Even for those that want to deny like this ability of yours to provide luck, to provide abundance. Especially when you were like in a position to not like provide in a material way. People loved it when you were in that stage, because then they could really deny, like people who are stuck in the 3D. And it's like, I'm just hearing like, if I only believe it if I see it, or I don't believe it unless I see it. It's like people, I'm just hearing they're gonna have sore butts. I don't know why that's coming out like that. They're gonna have really sore butts whenever your vision manifests. Basically, it was only so long that these people were able to be on that fake high horse. They thought they were on a high horse, but they like piecemealed this horse together out of like pallet wood. Okay, and they're like on top of it. It kind of hurts to be on this horse, to be honest with you. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's funny. It's a goofy position to be in. Like, they continue to pain themselves, even though what you're providing is an escape from that, and a final escape. I just heard escape from Alcatraz. It's like these people are like on islands of themselves, and you help them do the impossible. You show them the impossible, and you show them. It's funny because I'm getting like the escape from Alcatraz. Those people were never found, as far as I know the story, and it's like you help people escape in a way that they never have to find their past selves again. They escape their problems for good. And it's also like, there's that kind of feels like a legend that the people got away and there's no sight or sound of them, and it's just bringing me back to how your energy is haunting. Like you have like lore. People love to talk about your lore. They love to dissect and understand your lore. And you also have like a lot of lore that's like mystified, and people want to better understand that, but it's hard to grasp. Okay, so we are on our final deck, actually. So let's see. And you know what? I'm actually being called to pull from that Literary Witches Oracle deck up there. So we'll just pull from that too after this. How do people feel when it comes to you? People feel defeated. Oh my gosh. They feel defeated, but they're in love. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh, underneath that. Wow. Love. It's like even your haters love you. They can't help but love you. It's just they have to love you from afar, because you're like they can't do that like dance in the sand like you can, where you're like twisting deeper and deeper, more into the nitty gritty, more into the abrasive stuff, the dark stuff. You let darkness swallow you so that you can slay it from within. Ooh. And I just saw like a darkness like envelop a space, and then like a blast of like light rays like explodes out and like defeats this darkness. People like, when people that feel defeated by you, they feel confronted by their shadow, and it's like too much to bear. You may have dealt with like a lot of unethical behavior in these situations, because people are taking like self-protective measures, and they may do it even at the expense of you, because they're seeing you as a problem. People feel like they recognize that feeling of needing to surrender, but because they don't surrender to themselves yet. They don't surrender to their shadow. They're not willing to surrender to you either. So you may deal with like power struggles, as we talked about earlier. People feel like humiliated. They act in self-interest when it comes to you. Okay, these people. You know, I just got like people, I'm hearing this movie. I don't know if it's Rambo or Rocky, and I don't know of either of those which number it is. But there's this one, it's like one of those fight movies, okay? And there's a girl. It's a movie where he's like I think it's Rambo First Blood, but I can't remember. And there's this girl that like has a jade necklace, or he has a jade necklace, and she's like telling him the exact line, "You're not expendable," is coming through. And it's like, I'm just getting the vibe of like, you may be the main character in people's lives, but they want to be the main character in their and your life, and they want to do it by having you around them without you recognizing your power, essentially. When people lose you, though, they feel like regret. Okay, they're like, oh my god, I really fumbled that bag. Okay, let's grab from this last deck here, and then we are going to bounce. Okay, so we have, this is an oracle deck, okay? So this is like final messages for you from Spirit. And then, okay, I'll do the oracle on the last. Let's see what symbols people associate you with. Ooh, okay. We have Noose. On the bottom of the deck, Milk. And I'm hearing spilled milk. Okay, and I just saw a skull and crossbones. But let's look up these Milk and Noose symbols and see what they represent. Ooh, I just got a movie download. It's like this movie where she has a huge family. It's a mother. She's a writer. And she writes jingles and makes money and supports her family off these jingles. And like, she has a husband who works, but he's like an alcoholic and he's very abusive, and he doesn't provide much for the family, although he provides like the bare minimum, I guess. And like, when she wins prizes and is able to support the family and help out with the family, he's actually like made very insecure about this. Like, in one of the prize contests she wins, okay, she writes jingles and she sends them in. She wins like a fridge. And I remember in the movie, he's like really upset about this. That's coming through. But we have, for Milk, we have nourishment, parents, nostalgia. For Noose, we have anxiety, threat, self-sabotage. Yes, when people ignore you, when people go against you, they go against themselves. You are just a truth bearer. Okay, final messages from Spirit. You guys, you're reading amazing. Okay. Final messages from Spirit. What do they want to tell you? Close out this message. We have, I've never gotten this card. I love this. Ooh, and I love the imagery. Eileen Chang. Fate. Let's read what she has to say. I just got chills all over. Eileen Chang. Fate. Outside sources. Events falling into place. Acceptance. Eileen Chang, born 1920, died 1995, was born to an opium-addicted traditional Chinese father and a westernized mother who learned to ski on bound feet. When 17-year-old Chang contracted dysentery, her father dismissed her claims of ill health and locked her up in her bedroom for 6 months. She escaped with the help of her nurse. Witty and stylish, Chang was famous in Shanghai for her fiction about troubled romance and family betrayal. Though she died as a recluse in Los Angeles, her work remains popular and beloved in China. Okay, that is intense, powerful, beautiful, very human. Wow. Pile 1. You are a powerhouse. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And, yeah, subscribe so I can see you on the next ones. Thank you guys so much for being here and for watching and listening. Bye. Hello, pile 2. Welcome. Okay, I'm already channeling your energy. Welcome to your reading. Before I even got, like, into the cards and stuff here, okay? I'm channeling... You're quite the hype man, okay? I was getting a couple of songs. Doja Cat's Get Into It, Yeah. That song's lyrics is kind of unexpected, but it's so, like, you can totally jam out to it. But I was also hearing, Doja Cat's Paint the Town Red. And I was getting the vibe of, Tay Money's trajectory, and also... There's another, like, comedian woman, but I can't think of her name right now. But, like, the vibe was essentially is, like, before these people were known as a rapper, and before this other person I'm thinking of was known as a comedian, they were, like, hype people for events. Okay, 111 on my timer has it say that. It's like you bring the party with you. You hype people up. Okay, and... just in case you wanted to know, this is the little crystal I chose for your pile. Okay, it's a crescent moon. Okay. So, pile 2. Let's get into your reading. How do people feel about you? You're definitely like someone, yeah. I was gonna say you're a party person, but it's more like wherever you go, the party goes. Okay, it's like, I just heard, you know, like when people say the city never sleeps, it's like all the time might as well be nighttime, because you feel like you just constantly carry the dream. Okay. Interesting. So we have coming out for you how people feel about you: autumn, fur, and compass. Ooh, what's this behind? And give, something given or received in relationships. You're very, exciting. People are very thankful for, like, your presence. You bring out of people, like, their animal instincts. Okay, I just heard party animal. People may feel like you know, this is like a way for you to hide your emotions, but I'm just getting the sense that, you know, you are internally a very excited person. You bring that excitement outward. 303 on the timer. I'm also getting the music video for MGMT. I think it's... I can't remember I don't think it's kids. But, like, in the music video, they have, like, furs on, and, they talk about, like, marrying models and all these things. And actually that song, even though it was taken quite seriously upon release, it's like, they actually came out later and said that song was actually meant to be satirical, not taken seriously. So it's like, you know, people think you're hiding something in this lifestyle that you live, but this is your seriousness is to be unserious. People feel like you're looking for direction, but what you're actually looking for is just exploration and adventure. Yes, at times you have to take stock on, like, where it is that you are. But don't we all? You are someone who's very deep. People like they may not witness I'm getting like people only see you for like your waves. They don't see like the Mariana Trench within you. Okay, they only see like your waves up ahead. And they see how you flow. They see you as someone who surrenders to life, but they may feel fearful to participate in that surrendering with you because to them it feels reckless. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to think of like one of the lyrics off that MGMT song just in case you wanted to look it up. And it was like, one of the lyrics says, "This is our decision to live fast and die young. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Oh yeah, now let's have some fun." People see you, you know, you are quite actually calm and collected, but they look at this display as maybe shallow. They don't see like, oh, that's interesting. You know, I was saying earlier, like they only see you for your waves. They don't see you for your Mariana Trench. They don't see, I just heard, they don't see all the creatures within. Why did that come out like that? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see how else people feel about you. I'm actually being called to this True Intentions deck, so let's see. Ooh, okay, immediately. Ooh, interesting. It's mutual. We're on the same wavelength, good or bad. Ooh, that's interesting. So it's like good figures feel highly attuned to you because you bring out like the nature within them that wants to be brought out. But bad figures are also drawn to you because they feel, you know, they're just seeing you for like the party that you are. Okay. People, okay. I just heard, get a job. You, okay, so I don't know if you are literally unemployed or you have this sort of job. I just heard like tie-dyeing t-shirts. Get a real job is what I'm hearing. Get a real job. Okay. Okay, this is actually reminding me, I'll just share it. When all the Black Lives Matter like protests were happening, and I think it was 2020 and beyond then, but like when they were first happening, I went to one in my city. I had to walk past with my group this like outdoor cafe, and there were people there. There was a man there that shouted to us, "Get a job." I still to this day am like, what does that have to do with what I'm doing right now? Okay, so, okay. People who are highly conservative, they really dismiss your way of life. Ooh, I just got like a hot flash actually when I said that. It may actually enrage you, or maybe it did in the past, like the ways in which people just willfully misunderstand you. And it's because they live differently. And so you face a lot of judgment, but I'm getting you don't judge others. You'll just like remove yourself from the situation. You know, and that day I just kept walking. I literally didn't say anything to that man. We were like 2 feet apart, by the way. It was literally just like this gate between us because this like restaurant or cafe or whatever had a gate out like around the outside patio. So like it was a very personal interaction. They were eating their meal. They were supposed to be enjoying their meal. It's like they stopped. People like ooh, I'm getting like, oh, this is interesting. You have a lot of ocean symbology. I actually have a follower in particular. Maybe you know who you are. I'm thinking of you right now though, and I think you are going to you're going to be here in this pile. There's a lot of ocean symbology. And I will just say, you know, I will say, so maybe you know who you are. I don't want to like call you out specifically, but you say you personally say thank you on a lot of my like shadow work videos. So I'm hoping like we are telepathically connecting in this moment on who you are. But what I was gonna say is like you have a lot of like cranky and crabby, and I was interested in like how crabby came out. Okay, 10-10 on my timer as I say that. You have crabby figures that like want to just like pinch. But you are like nourishment to, they wouldn't be able to survive as a crab if it weren't for you. If you didn't exist, they couldn't be crabby. Okay? It's like these people's purpose in their life, I guess, is to be the crab. I don't know why that's coming up, but it's like, don't pay attention to the crabs because you're doing your thing and they're doing their thing. And yes, they are like intertwined on some level, but that level is so minuscule when you pan out and look at everything, and you are the bigger like body of existence here. Okay, that person can't be crabby if you didn't exist. Okay, the crabs wouldn't exist without the ocean, so you're just an outlet for that person to be crabby, I guess. But you just keep doing you. Your job may be, yes, it's coming through. Like, people really look at like your financial state as being like, it needs some work. That's what people are saying. People really like, ooh, you have like, I'm hearing conservative crabs. Oh my gosh. You have a lot of conservative crabs around you that are like, you should do it this way. You should do it this way. And you're like, I'm in my flow. Trust me. Trust me. The ocean knows what I need. The ocean knows what you need even. And for the both of us, I don't need that. You to tell me what I need. Okay? You don't tell the crab what it needs, even though you're the ocean. You just exist and you allow the crab to exist. So that's sort of like the energy I'm getting, like you need to exude it. Is just not to be bothered by these crabs in your life. You provide them on some level actually nourishment. You just may not witness it. People think like you have a lot of development to do. People are really critical of you, pal, too. They also see you as someone that's like lacks routine, lacks a like you're disconnected from yourself and spirit. And we have creative issues, writer's block coming up. So it's like you also may lack creativity. They may look at you and be like, it's interesting because you offer freedom. I'm getting like you're the sort of, I forget what sort of seductress this is, but it's like you're the sort of seductress that like offers like wild, untamed, unbridled, natural passion. Like you bring people back to like their nature. And you like exude that energy. And you know, people look at this though and they're like, I know exactly what to expect from this person. People are threatened by your freedom because they themselves are in prisons of some sort. I'm hearing self-constructed prisons though. You know, how else do people feel about you, pal, too? Ooh, and I'm excited to get into one of my decks in particular because it's like an ocean-based deck. And turtles keeps coming through in symbolism. And like your waves, they're huge and rolling. It's not really like a crashing. You have like a rhythm to you, and like it's a grand rhythm, and it's like a deep, guttural, down from the trench rhythm. Okay? There's currents within you that people like, they want to dismiss like the power of. So, ooh, this is interesting. We have coming out the Button Eyes, and this is off Coraline, and then Grimm. Grimm is off The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And it's like people really have negative connotations about what it means to live your life. They look at it like it's a limiting path, even though your path is like wide open, free. I'm hearing the universe is in your hands. Okay. So they see you in a position of like hardship, but you're more like the universe is supporting you. And, you know, with this button eyes here, people may think like this is really interesting. I'm getting like, you know, the vibe of like people who are in relationships maybe being like people who are in bad relationships thinking the grass is greener on the other side and being single would be better. And then the same thing, people who are unhappy with being single thinking the grass is greener on the other side, not realizing that the work is all within themselves in both of those cases. People look at your situation and they think it's limiting, not realizing that it's freedom. And you may look at other people's situations and see limits in that, not realizing that they have some freedom there too. You know, there's some freedom to, for example, living the corporate life, even though it's a prison of itself. You know, everything has gains and losses, I guess. But people don't want to witness the gains. The gains in your situation, it's upsetting to realize for those who are in those more restrictive environments, okay? Because let's be honest, the gains and losses of each comparative scenario isn't exactly the same. Yes, you can say each of them have those things, but when you make a list of what those things are, one of those may be harsher in loss. And I'm feeling like the people who are on the end of like harsher loss to get their freedom, okay, you don't deal with too much loss to get to your freedom. Your loss is like you let go of things that don't serve you. You let go of like things that block you from transforming, things that block you from flowing. That's your loss, okay? And obviously that loss is much different than things that you lose to the corporate life to get the security of the corporate life, okay? So that's interesting. People look at your, you know, what I was going to say though is I think it's more upsetting for them to view your life and see the price that they pay than it is you to view their life and see the price that you pay. I think the price that you pay is much less than the price that they pay in your eyes, and this is true for you. We have the button eyes, okay? So people want to see you as an illusion of freedom. But your truth is that you haven't traded your soul for comfort. That says perfectly what I was just trying to get at. People who have had to trade their soul for comfort, people who have had to trade their integrity for comfort are highly upset and disturbed by like your ability to navigate around those sacrifices of self. Okay. This is like highly unique from what came out in pile 1. And pile 1 was like very in-depth and very unique in itself. Water may be like an important thing for you to like drink, interact with, be around, because it cleanses. It's part of like what allows you to flow. Okay, I definitely get like you are like a water baby. I don't know what that will mean for you, but that's what's coming out. Ow. One of my cards like went in diagonal whenever I shuffled it, like stabbed my hand. That's funny. On the bottom of the deck, treacherous waters, risk, danger. People that get close enough inside of this like freedom of yours to get a sense of that Mariana Trench, they're like, ooh, there must be something lurking in those waters. You know how people can be like just fearful of what exists. And I remember when I was on TikTok a few years ago that there was like this video that went viral that was like this megalodon of a monster was living in our deep sea waters, okay? Like something that was so big, it was like from Myth. Maybe you've seen that video a couple years ago. It's like, that's what people feel about you. They're like fearful of the unknown. Ooh, ooh, when I shuffled, this came out on the top again. Treacherous water, so that's definitely true. That's just confirmation. We have coming out, though, ocean current, guidance and direction. Flow of life, unseen forces again. Trust in the journey, inevitability. So people who don't, ooh, that's interesting. People who don't want to trust the journey, trust the process, and instead want to cling to control, like they have life in a chokehold. Oh my gosh. They're the ones who are not willing to see your life as like the beautiful freedom and flow that it is. Okay, we also have kelp forest coming out, protection and nourishment, shelter, growth, interconnectedness, thriving under pressure. I'm getting the sense that people really flock to you because they feel like they are unjudged. Okay, and I just got the image of a young woman, a girl, like crying actually, and this isn't you, it's someone around you, and it doesn't have to be someone's particular. I'm actually getting it's just people around you. This is the energy. It's like it's in a bathroom, and I don't know why this is coming up like this, you guys, but it's like you would, like, if a stranger was getting sick at a party, you would like hold their hair back. You don't care. Like, you are here to help people flow. 2112 on the timer as I say that. Okay, you're here to show people how to survive stranded at sea. Okay, you are like the ocean. You're like showing people, and I just actually heard Oshun, like Oshun, I think it is. And I believe that's like a goddess or a deity of some sort that deals with water. Okay. But it's like when people are in overwhelming points of emotion, you know, you're the ocean. You know how to deal with like all things water because that's what you are. You may actually be a water sign like in your big three. Like a Cancer moon. I'm really picking up Cancer. Cancer moon, Cancer sun, Cancer rising. You have like a really like, why is it what? Okay, you have I just heard gentle but disturbing, beautiful but disturbing nature. You know, and I'm getting like the ocean, as beautiful as it is, it's like sometimes the shorelines where it meets like other elements, they get totally eroded. Okay, so it's like you show people how to become like water. I just heard, I think it's Bruce Lee, he says, be like water. You know, you have that sort of energy about you. We have Mermaid's Necklace coming out, connection to the divine and nature. Whirlpool, spiraling emotions, inescapable forces. I just heard too, like, you have a lot of raw emotion. You have a lot of passion. Like, you may let your emotions take over a moment. You're not scared to express every single emotion that comes to surface. It doesn't matter if it's joy, if it's embarrassment, if it's anger, if it's, it doesn't matter what it is. Okay, every emotion that comes to surface, you let it roll out. People are like, because of this, people who don't face their emotions and don't express their emotions, they're like, look at this mess. That, you know, they want to say you're a mess. People certainly want to say this in the sense that they can't escape your emotion either. They're pulled into your currents. They must surrender to the inevitable, which is intense focus and transformation. Okay, we have Whirlpool coming out for that. We also have, ooh, I love this so much, Seahorse Carousel, nostalgia, the cycle of life. People feel like you show them, you know, oh, I just got the sense of like, you're really alluring because you take people who may just have still waters and you show them how to create the waves in their lives that they need. Like, you show people how to have passion again for life. That's so beautiful. I just got like the image of someone who lives in like a really artistic, this is for you, like an artistic loft sort of apartment where you're like surrounded by art. Seaweed, flexibility and nourishment. you know, the right people see how you are adaptable and you nourish self. They feel nourished by you. And I don't know if I said this earlier, so I'll go ahead and say it now, but people feel like they're not judged when they're around you. Okay, it's a really beautiful thing. They feel, maybe for the first time, that they have found someone that they can be themselves with. Wow. We have Sand Dollar coming out, and I'm getting the image of a live Sand Dollar actually whenever I read this. So this Sand Dollar represents spiritual evolution. People who see you in your truth see that you are constantly rolling, aka constantly evolving. You're not without direction. You're just not afraid of fun. Okay. The underlying energy to this deck, and we have a couple more cards to go out, but I was interested in seeing, we have Shipwreck here. People feel like they may project, okay? Some people feel like they'll look at your circumstances and think, if that was me, I would consider myself a failure. Other people, though, look at you and realize the lessons you've learned by living the life that you live. Okay. You've learned lessons from the past, and you find hidden treasures in the loss. We have buoy, manta ray, pearl, and kelp forest. I believe I may have talked about kelp forest, but I can't remember. But your transformation really comes out. You know, the ocean is highly transformative, especially for its own environment and like the environments around it, especially for like other elements. But you protect and you nourish, and you're highly pure. You're pure of heart and mind, and like your aura is very pure. You like have like older sister, big brother vibes. Like you are like fun and something that people like aspire to be. And on buoy, we have guidance, direction, safe passage, guidance, warning of dangers, staying afloat. Like the thing about you is like people that are fearful of you, if they just stuck it through, they would see like, not only is this not chaos, what you're witnessing, but I will show you how to weather the storm. Let's see what else wants to come out. How do people feel about you? Pile 2. Oh, I just heard rock slide. People feel like you are like a natural disaster. Oh, that's funny, because I actually feel like you're just natural is what it is. You're just natural. You're not scared to be your nature. People are so intimidated by that though. And it's like, again, it's like people who want to have that chokehold on life, they're like, that's disaster, the lack of control, the blah, blah, blah. But really, it's just like their perspective. You help people realize like what is possible through like teamwork and collaboration. Like when you put your hearts and your minds together. I just got the image of like two best friends holding hands. You are like incredibly loving. Like you do not hold back your love. I think even your best friends sort of feel like lovers in a way. Like I just I'm reminded of this friend that I used to have. Actually, they've left my life since this time. But I used to cuddle with this friend, and there was like, even though our relationship was platonic, it's like there were really no boundaries between us. Let's see though, how people feel about you. It's interesting that we have praying mantis and fire ant making an appearance, because the key words on this are determination and discipline. Keep your determination strong and push through any challenges. With discipline and focus, you can accomplish your goals. It's like, I'm getting like people see you like steadfast clinging to this lifestyle of yours. It's like your discipline is in being, in their perspective, I'm just kidding, this is really strange. People are like, okay, I try not to say this word. I'm just in a place where like language is really important to me. But people are like hell-bent on seeing you incorrectly. Okay, and I just got the image of like hellhounds, actually. It's like, these are like negative entities that don't want to see you in your truth. They don't want to see you like as the freedom you are, as the beauty you are, as the love that you are. So, I mean, like, just understand that that's their position. Like, you don't need to, I don't think you do, but perhaps for illumination matters, and especially for like healing of the heart, don't feel any sort of way about that, like in regards to your person. I was going to say something a little bit different there, but it escaped me. Okay, let's pull more cards for you. Let me take a sip of my drink real fast. Oh my gosh. I just got reminded. Okay, you may have like a very indie, and that's cool because, you know, I think Doja Cat is sort of like an indie rapper, honestly. Although, I was talking about, you know, a friend one time called Doja Cat a rapper, and you can say she is, but for some reason in my head, I see her more as a pop star. But even Doja Cat, you can say is like an indie artist, honestly. And MGMT is definitely an indie artist, and it's like, oh, I forgot where I was going with that. It's like, you have like an indie vibe to you, for sure. You may have been like heavy in the Tumblr scene and like, alternative indie stuff. There was some download I got a second ago, though, in regards to that, but maybe it'll come back to us if we need it. People see you. Okay, we have Beetle coming out with protection. And also Dragonfly with illumination. Look beneath the surface to discover deeper truths. It's like, you're rolling waves. People can stop short of seeing you in your totality, okay? They can say, look at the craziness of those waves. She's really weathering a storm out there. She's like going through the storm out there, you know, without weathering it, is what I meant to say. And, if that's, I meant that in a bad way. Sometimes I don't know what the sayings I say mean in totality, but I'm trying, y'all. People see you as like having some unseen, you know, I'm hearing benefactor. And I'm getting, like, you have a very artsy vibe, too, because I'm getting another art vibe where it's, like, you may have, like, someone funding you from behind the scenes that no one knows about, but this person is, like, obsessed with your work. And they pay for you to be able to do art. People see you as having some sort of unseen force of support. They don't understand how you're able to stay afloat, I'm hearing. Ooh. I love that this is on the bottom of the deck, but it actually was reversed. It's like, you are actually, you know, in that you're water and you're the ocean, you are entirely cleansed of, you know, negativity and impurities. Okay, salt is a cleaning, like, agent for the spirit. Okay, and you're chock full of it. You are salt water. Water cleanses, salt cleanses. The only thing you are and the only thing you do is cleanse. And, but how it came upside down, people, like, don't want to recognize that about you for some reason. You may be someone who's, like, juggling a lot. People see you as someone who, I'm hearing won't settle down. I'm really getting, like, a artist vibe from you, okay? We have, 3 of Pentacles coming out. Okay, so people see you as someone who works on projects with others. You're also showing up as the Empress, okay? And I'm coming back to that ocean vibe. Like, you're someone who provides love, care, and support. The ocean, arguably, provides love, care, and support for the entire earth, okay? And the land and like what's on the land has space to, I guess, if they want to, entirely just dismiss the presence and like the power and, you know, the land can just pretend because it exists, but it exists on the back of the ocean, but it can pretend because it exists, and it exists as a separate entity, I guess, that it doesn't need the ocean. And I'm getting that's the vibe of you and people around you. People don't feel like you are ever sad or that you deal with loss. Like they see you as someone who's just always happy. They don't see you as someone who like revels in the past. They see you as someone who's like forward, future oriented. And some people may view you though as someone who's like stuck in a difficult time. And even so, they view you as someone who's like content with your situation. So they're like, you know, I'm just hearing they're not amounting to much and they won't, but they're happy with it. Sorry, you guys, that's just how it's coming through. That's definitely not like how I'm seeing it, the truth of your energy. So again, try not to personify the projections of the crabs, okay? And you are ultimately seen though by others. People feel like you are highly dedicated to your craft or job. And just the word craft coming up again, it's like, are you guys not an artist? Like, I feel like you guys are artists. Even so though, you know, I'm getting like starving artist vibes, or otherwise that's how people feel. That's how people feel. That may not be true, okay? You may be well into success and you just don't share that. You keep that private. I don't see why you wouldn't, considering how willfully people misunderstand you. You know, I'm getting like you may keep your success private because you view it as inherently unnecessary to your connections. You just want to nurture. You just want to nurture, and many people just want to misunderstand. And you're still just focusing on nurturing. So just continue to be you, pile 2. Let's see how else people feel about you. Day and night, and that's interesting. That's actually calling me to like personal perspectives really influences, and obviously this is true for everybody, but it's especially true for you. Personal perspectives really influence how people are like perceiving you. Okay, some people may look at you and be like, you're a beautiful, you know, they're thinking about sunsets and sunrises over the ocean. Other people look at you and think fearful because of the unknown. So it's like all about perspective. But I was also hearing like, I don't know exactly how it says, but it's like red at night, sailor's delight. Red at morning, sailor's warning. And it's like people have measurements or markers for how involved they're willing to, you know, they feel like there's a danger zone to your emotions. You have like unbridled emotions. So, I'm getting like, especially like when you're enraged, people feel, you know, I'm getting like you have sacred wrath, sacred rage. People are like frightened by it when it comes out, but it's been, I don't know why I'm hearing it like this. I was hearing it like it's been enlisted. It's been brought to the surface. So it's like anytime this is brought up, it's justified. And people are really scared to face that. Okay, it becomes about a control thing again, and that's uncontrollable. This wanted to come out. Calm and storm. We'll keep that back in though because it didn't fly out. All right. We have new and smooth. Okay, this is reminding me of like your flow. You have a flow about you. You flow like water. Your waves are rolling. Like your creativity probably has a flow to it. And it's probably not standardized. Like every day you live is probably a different day. And you keep things fresh. I'm hearing spring chicken. And I'm getting forget and remember, with forget being on the top. You don't live in the past. And I'm hearing, instead of live and let die, I'm hearing live and let learn. Live and let learn. You are very forgiving. Oh, and I meant to tell you too, that day and night card, if I didn't mention that, that came out in pile 1. And I accidentally at one point called pile 1 pile 2. So if you resonate with that day night card in particular, maybe there's some messages for you in pile 1. You are highly like connected to and guided by the moon and like your inner emotions. And we have magic wand coming up. It's making me think of the magician. Dragon 2, harp, hand mirror. You know, something, ooh, I just got the image of Narcissus. And I think his related flowers is daffodils. You reflect people back to them like themselves. And so they're unwilling sometimes to look at themselves, especially those who are like doing the chokehold on life situation. I'm getting the story though of Narcissus, which is like someone who was obsessed with their own reflection in the water. It's like they got stuck looking at their reflection in the water. It's like some people who are like obsessed with like pestering you are actually obsessed with like, it's their shadow like pestering them but projecting it onto you, so it feels like a sort of relief. Okay. But you know, your water, like if a thorn goes into water, the water is not feeling that. Okay. I mean, it's not that you don't have feelings. It's just that you are going to swallow that thorn up whole. That thorn is going to get soggy. It's going to decompose. It's going to become you. In the way that it disintegrates into nothingness. Okay, you don't allow thorns to thrive. You know, things, how do I say this? It's like, I'm getting like leaf litter and decomposition, but like, what's the word for like, leaf litter and like thorns? It's like these things that have like, it's like you unearth things. That's what I'm getting. And people that are like obsessed with burying things are like very disturbed by that. People see you, ooh, this is perfect. We have the rose vine coming out. People see you as someone that has like a lot of secrecy. Okay, they don't want to look at like the positivity of you. But the quote on this card reads, "The optimist sees the rose and not its thorns. The pessimist stares at the thorns, oblivious to the rose." And that's a quote from Khalil Gibran. And the angel number on this card is 1616, inner strength, ability to overcome. Okay, so it's like, just as I was saying earlier, it's like people's perspective is very, like their perspective of you is very dependent upon their perspective of themselves and like reality. Okay. People that have a positive outlook on life are going to see you positively, and people that have a negative outlook on life are going to see you negatively. It's just that simple. And we have coming out here for you sword. And I actually love this given all your water. And I think you're undermined for this sword that you carry. Okay, but the sword is your truth, your intellect. People really want to focus on like your emotional scape. They want to like dismiss you because of that. But I'm getting the image of like Ariel when she's like collecting all these like trinkets from the land. You know, she's like collecting forks and like things like that. I can't remember what else. But she has like a little collection of things from the land, and it's like things that are unnatural to the water, things you wouldn't expect to be in the water, and things that are quite hard. 44 on my timer, they say that. It's like people wouldn't expect to find these tools within this water. Okay. And again, we have courtly mask coming out. Deception, persona, hidden truths. Castle, fortified, control, defense. It's like people look at your freedom and they completely like, they want to define it in like a 180 sense. Like they don't see it for what it is. And despite that, okay, you're seen as like a very serene person. That's really interesting. You know, people just are unwilling to admit that sometimes because they would have to admit the things that they're hiding from themselves. Okay, you really make people face the truth. Water, there isn't a crevice that water can't get into. Okay, people are made uncomfortable by this. We have making an appearance, veterinarian, care, animals, healing, paw print, stethoscope, and pet carrier. You may be an animal lover. I'm getting like you're also a nature lover. People see you as this. I'm hearing hippie, okay, and I'm getting like long patchwork and there's a word I can't think of it right now. I don't think paisley is what I'm thinking of, but there's like long patchwork maxi dresses and like crochet tops and long wavy hair, like sometimes unbrushed hair. Like I'm getting like a really natural, like no makeup. And yeah, I'm getting the image too of like music festivals and also like a Woodstock type vibe where it's like close to the elements. You know, Woodstock was really muddy and it may have rained the whole time, I'm not sure. Water is like highly significant in every form to you. Running water, creeks, rivers, rain, filtered water, unfiltered water, natural well springs, man-made well springs, the ocean, lakes, like literally everything. A cup of water, your shower, your bath. It's like anything you can think of to do with water, it has something to do with you. It's like if you could be in the ocean and be just a mermaid, you would. But it's like you're having to survive on land. I'm getting the Aquamarine movie. You know, she does her best to survive on land. She has to stay in the tub and go to the water tower. I forget what happens in that movie though. We have coming out though. Okay, people think you're really stylish and really fun. Like I said earlier, you're like and this is interesting. We have athlete coming out as well. Fashion designer, bartender, athlete. You know, I'm getting reminded, I think it was Kevin Hart who said this. He was like, don't go out with athletes because they just have like the stamina to party, and he wasn't prepared for that. We have fashion designer. People think you're really stylish, really creative, and original. Okay, and I'm coming back to that Ariel with the fork. Okay, she was original in how she brushed her hair with it. Bartender, for obvious reasons. Okay, we have mixing. You mix well socially. You also provide the party, like I said earlier. And athlete, people feel naturally in competition with you. I'm hearing though you're dedicated to self, and this card reads trophy. Okay, and I think you know, you could almost say that the trinkets were Ariel's trophies. What else, Spirit? How do people feel about pile 2? I don't know why this is coming up. People feel depressed sometimes. I feel like it's it's depressing for people who bury. And okay, that's an interesting like comparison, because when you bury something, you are covering it up with dirt or sand. It's very dry. So these are people who are stoic as a measure of not expressing their like their heartfelt emotions. Okay, I forget where that was going. I'm also getting like you may experiment or had a time 4949 on my timer as I say this where you experimented with substances. Okay, and I'm specifically getting like downers, but I also just heard sativa. Okay. People don't want to let you go though. Like, we have a card here that reads red salvia, forever mine. Scarlet sage or flame sage are other names for this. Red salvia needs space to breathe. So you may have like a lot of hermit modes, or like even though you are like the life of the party, you may have to like retreat to rebalance yourself, I'm hearing. But we have mint and bittersweet coming out, virtue and truth. People see you as, despite all that we've talked about, they see you as living your truth, embodying your truth. Okay, you trigger those who don't live their truth. 50-50 on my timer as I say that. Okay, you make people check themselves, and like you make people realize like, ooh, I haven't been being like totally transparent with myself in these ways, this and this way. Okay, imagine how difficult that is to realize. And yes, it's a realization that you want to push away for those people. Okay, but you are admired by all. Okay, some just don't want to admit it. Let's see what else. How do people feel about you, pile 2? Oh, this is really interesting. Okay, I'm not totally sure how to that name is pronounced. If it's Boudica or Boudica, the Avenging Queen. You are the storm. People see you as someone who's willing to fight for what's right. Okay, like I said earlier, you have a sacred wrath. Okay, that like scares people to the core of themselves. Okay, they don't. It's like these people that bury their emotions, they aren't accustomed to sacred wrath. Their rage and anger is simply a measure to self-preserve. Okay, and they'll your flame is crazy high right now. Okay, it's like you've gotten burnt by people who just don't want to face themselves. Okay, and it's interesting because those people will say you're the storm, but you see them as the storm. Okay, and I was interested in Marco Polo coming out because he is like a ocean explorer. Okay, new worlds await. Expand your horizons. That's what you're interested in doing. And we have Mother Teresa, compassionate soul. Service, humility, devotion. Your kindness is your legacy, and that's the truth of you. I'm coming back to that image again of turtles, and also the follower that I'm expecting to be in this pile. Hello. Okay. Ooh. Oh, you guys. You are such a butterfly. We have Geronimo. I don't know why I was hearing Geronimo. The Last Defender. Warrior spirit. Never surrender your soul. Protect what is sacred. Okay. All right. We are getting down like to the nitty gritty, y'all. Where we just have a couple of decks left. Ooh. I'm getting, I don't know why this is coming through like this, but it's like you are fruit to the fruit bat, but they are leaving you, they're like resisting their need for you so badly that you're like, for them, fermented, you're still fruit for you. Like you are merely existing. But it's like these people let this connection expire before they get the nourishment from it. Okay, you walk away. You take your water and you walk away with it. You're like, I'm out of here, okay? I'm on to better, like, different things. If you're not willing to face yourself, how can I expect you to be here for me if you're not here for yourself? And yeah, I think you just, You know, and actually you have like, you have a crazy amount of like devoted people, even if it's like people that have left your life. I just got the image too of like a monkey tail, for like specifically the monkey's tail. It's bringing me back to like how your energy is playful, but it's playful. You know, people may just look at the monkey and be like, it's playing, but the monkey is using its tail as a tool, and it's not, you know, there's like a high degree of utility to this play. Okay, that's what I'm getting. People see you as someone who they want to say, people who are really constricted and controlled themselves really want to project that you are the constricted and controlled one, that you're the one who like needs to open your eyes and mind in life to like a more expansive way of being. But I see you as seeing it like the opposite way, actually. And I see you seeing them like that, as we discussed earlier. Like, you know, people seeing their way as the greener grass and you seeing your way as the greener grass. But after all we've discussed, the people who don't like rub you the right way, I just lost it. I keep losing, like, that's the third time. You know, I'm my thoughts are being like washed away, literally. You don't let, like, it's interesting because it's like, people may have seen like the raw depth of your rage and they're like, woof, there are some problems there, but I'm actually just got the energy of like, you don't actually have like negative emotion within you. People just misinterpret like the sacredness about you. You're only anchored. You're only anchored. You're only angered when it's justified. You're only sad when it's justified, but you don't linger and you don't get stuck in the past. You're very like rejuvenated energy, okay, and you stay like refreshed. The ocean isn't stagnant water. Could you imagine if it was? How people feel about you, we have lost love. Those who have lost you feel like you're the one who got away. Okay, they feel like there's been a breakdown of communication between you, that you have inner harmony, but that you've transitioned from the connection. And they want to say that you're the stubborn energy, which is really hilarious, honestly, considering all that we've discussed. Water, it's impossible to be stubborn. Literally, it goes around anything. Like, these people are impossible, and they project that impossibility onto you, but it's like, it's kind of silly, honestly, considering everything. People feel like when it comes to you, though, okay, we have 6 of cups coming out. They can't help but recognize like that fresh energy of you, your innocence, how you connect them to like their inner child. You feel like, even to people you've just met, you feel like an old friend. All right, let's see what else, you guys. How do people feel about you, pal, too? People definitely take note of like your youthful appearance. You look very young, no matter what age you are. You look younger than your age. Okay, I'm getting that's actually something that will remain true from life, and it's through life, and it's because you keep your heart so light. It shows like externally. Like everybody else, we wear our spirit and like our heart on the outside. people, I'm just hearing like, ooh, I just heard, like feather of Maat, or feather of Matt. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but it's like, your heart is light as a feather. You're like, you're not worried about judgment. Go ahead and judge. You're gonna find nothing. It's, oh, I'm getting this analogy too of people that, it's like, they say, I'm hearing someone say this in like a snotty way, like a snooty. They're like, which weighs more, a 10-pound bag of feathers or a 10-pound bag of bricks? I don't know why they're saying it with such attitude. But this person in this energy, these energies, whoever is embodying this, 010101 on my timer as I say this, whoever is saying this, and that's reminding me of binary. People want to recode like what you are. You know, code is used as a way to bring to us the user interface. Okay, and people want to recode how you're perceived. But ooh, what was I just saying? The quote. The feathers and the bricks. It's like, the bag of feathers is as it weighs the same as the bricks. In this analogy though, people are wanting to say you're a bag of bricks. They don't want to acknowledge you for like how light-footed you are, I'm hearing, for some reason. Let me take a sip. I'll be right back. Also, I meant to say this earlier. I don't know if I did. I felt it relevant to share. I'm drinking chai tea right now from 7 Brew. Maybe there's like a little symbol in that for you. It has 2 shots of espresso and oat milk in it. And I have a ritual actually, and I've had this for a couple of months and I'm still sticking to it, but today is a special day. I'm having just an unplanned little celebratory chai tea. And I usually only drink my chai teas, like, well, not chai teas. I only have like coffee, and so then the espresso in my chai tea on Sundays. Okay, it's the ritual I made after I essentially like removed the habit of coffee from my life. Now I only allow myself to have it on Sundays, but to be honest with you, I haven't had coffee in like a month or more. Maybe much easily longer than a month. But if I do have it, it's just on Sundays. So today is like a special day. And yeah, it's like you go with the flow of things. People are like, yeah, but you're not sticking to the plan. You're not sticking to the plan though, dude. I don't know why it's coming out like that. Yeah, and I felt like, dude, it's like, even people that relate to you may try to like, how am I hearing this? It's like, they want to minimize like your understanding of what, like, your flow, because they don't understand it and it wouldn't work for them, or it doesn't work for them, or they're fearful that it wouldn't, even though perhaps it would. They're just, controlling. You're not controlling. If that hasn't been made clear, you are not controlling. People I'm getting, oof. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I just was like, observing that for a second. It was unpleasant. People look at you, okay. I'm seeing like red, glowing, evil, angry looking eyes where like you don't see the eyebrows, but you can see the eyebrows in the shape of the red glowing eyes, because the eyes are like slanted down where the eyebrow would be. And it's like, you have people that are like, infuriated by your existence. It's because you're honest. Woof. People who aren't honest with themselves and others are like angered by you. They're like enraged. Oh. It's like you are quiet, but just by being your honest self, you're so loud. You're so loud. It's like you aren't doing anything, and at the very same time, you doing nothing is doing everything. It's so upsetting to these people. How do your friends view you, though? How do people that, like, see you for what you are in your truth, because they see themselves in their truth? Okay, how do those people see you? I just got chills. Okay, people see you as, like, the action-oriented person you are. You're not this Ooh, I just got long neck here. Okay, and this is calling me to your beauty. Yes, you're very beautiful, but I got the image psychically of a giraffe eating leaves off the tree. It's like you have a graceful, bigger picture, okay? You're not like the hawk, which people know can swoop down and slice the heck out of them and make a meal out of them. No one's really scared of the giraffe per se, so people don't fear you because of your peace, but they, you know, you have that higher perspective and people subconsciously recognize that. So they are, you know, triggered by that. The shadow of them is. In your shadow, people stand in the shadow of you, the shadow of the giraffe. Okay, you're just doing your nature. You're like eating leaves. You may be a vegetarian or a vegan. I'm definitely getting like you're an animal lover. So you may have like eliminated animal-based foods out of your diet. It's like, it's to that extent. Oh, you guys, your friends. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, sorry, you guys. I'm like, you're like reminding me of like when I see like a cute bird and I'm just like, I'm in love. Okay. I'm like, I want to feed you. I want to, you know, people that know you because of your truth. Oh my gosh, my heart just felt like it expanded like 10 times. Okay. And that's interesting. I just got the image of the Tin Man and like his heart expands in the Wizard of Oz. And it's like, you make these people that are like, who have grown so cold, they're like made of metal at this point. That's how stoic they've made themselves to be, although it's not like a stoicism. It's more like they've blocked their heart off, and so they don't allow themselves to express anything. They're actually, they have like bridled their expression. Okay, so it's like they have a lot to express. They're just not allowing themselves to do it. But the people who see you in your truth, they see you as someone with thick hair, someone with a signature scent. And I got like the image of like an animal nose, like a snout, like doing a sniff. Okay, like your friends, they feel like this cute little what's the word? Like they feel like a litter of cute little animals, cute little critters with you. Like they want to sniff you and they want to play with you and romp around, and oh my gosh, that's so cute. We also have coral some coming out here. You know, people know that being your best friends means they need to have like they need to have a little bit of tough skin. Like I said, you know, the ocean is really abrasive to like other elements. So, it can be, you know, and people realize that you know, you might have some playful fighting at being your friend. You're open to debate is what I'm hearing. You're open to debating and you actually love to debate. You love to find truth and your friends respect that about you. Your friends may see you as someone who's indecisive, but they see you as someone who considers all the options, okay? And they also see you as someone with soft hands. They feel like you are soft-hearted, I'm hearing. You have a light touch. Coming back to that light as a feather heart. Like you have a very soft essence about you. We also have high cheekbones. And I was getting Native American, but also like I was also getting like Native Nordic. I don't know why that's coming through. But basically like you are like, you have like a very like, not just a natural essence, like a heightened natural essence. Like, you know, like people that personify like what their populace looks like I was really trying not to offend, but I'm just going to say it because I'm not saying anything wrong here, but you know, it's like, if, the Nordic person, for example, has like sandy blonde or dark blonde hair or golden blonde hair and light skin and, clear skin. I'm imagining clear skin for some reason, and blue eyes and it's like if the Native American person has very high cheekbones and I'm imagining like perfectly white straight teeth and straight black hair that's like there's not a single fly away. And you know, like tan skin, like, you know, you really personify whatever you are native to. And it may even be a mixture because both of those were coming through. So maybe it's not just one native thing. You really personify like the beauty of that populace. Okay, that's I'm getting like for some reason starseed. I don't know why that's correlating to that. I just, that made me scratch my head, like, literally. Okay, you guys, we have made our way through pretty much our reading at this point. We have one more deck after the one that I'm holding now. So we're going to get some final words from these, and I will set you guys on your way. Freebird. I just heard Dreamweaver, okay? But I'm getting the image of a dream catcher. 1:11 on my timer as I say this. An hour and 11 minutes. And Dreamweaver actually came up as a song in pile 1. So if you're connecting to that, there's also probably messages for you in pile 1. This is interesting. King of Wands, this is perfect for you. You are a leader. You have mixed, this is Aries, Sun, Throat. You speak, embody, and live your truth. Okay, yes, as the keyword, like you are a forward-thinking, forward-oriented, moving entity and energy. You're someone who's in charge of your life. You inspire, like, others to be in charge of theirs. You're highly independent. You're highly loyal, especially to those who are loyal to their hearts. You're highly optimistic. Some people see you as impulsive, though. And there we go again, unexpected income. People are like, who is supporting you? I know your lifestyle cannot be the thing that supports you. There's no structure to it. People that are like crazy about control don't see how someone who surrenders fully to life. I'm hearing you're highly guided by synchronicities. Okay. Yes, you're highly guided by synchronicities because when you're water, it's hard to describe, but you deal with you've dealt with a lot of like internal landscaping, I'm hearing. But it's connected to your intuition. You take inspired action. It's part of you being an artist. I'm just going to call it how it's coming through at this point. Earlier I was asking, are you guys an artist? I'm pretty sure you are. If you aren't, there's probably some creative expression that you do need to connect with. So we're going to pull from a symbols deck. This is part of like the same deck. There's symbols and then like artist, writers actually. So we'll see what symbol people associate with you, and then we will get an oracle message from the cards, and we'll leave that as like the final message for your reading today. So let's see pile 2. How do people feel about you? And when I picked up this deck, it was like, oh, I accidentally shuffled some of the, that's okay. I saw lion on the bottom of the deck and I was hearing sea lion. But I was actually seeing when I said that because I can't imagine, oh, sea lion. Okay, I was actually imagining as I said that though a seahorse. Oh, people don't understand. Seahorses, the males, I think, give birth. It's like you, in all your creativity and all your femininity, okay, because you are like divine feminine. That's how you're showing up in this reading. People don't see like the, you, when necessary, take, you employ your like masculine energy, okay? That's like, that's when you're doing the inspired action. People don't necessarily see like all the mechanisms behind that, so they don't understand it. We have eel again showing itself, but it didn't fly out. But it's interesting, you consistently have like ocean symbolism. You have like, I'm hearing 1 to 3 people that are like obsessed with you energetically. They're not letting go, and 2 of those people may be long in your past, but I get the feeling that you have been thinking of all 3 of these people heavily potentially recently. We have doll on the bottom of the deck too as I'm shuffling. Oh, you may have been called doll by one of these people in the past. Doll phase, doll. I'm also getting like people oh my gosh. People are kind of, I'll just say it how it's, oh my, you have got to be kidding me. And eel on the bottom of the deck too. Look what flew out as I'm about to say this. I was going to say, people are kind of creeps towards you. Oh, and doll. Okay. What I was going to say is like, you may find like those 3 people, you know, were really obsessed with you. And I'm getting, the image one time, someone who was particularly obsessed with me. I stayed at their house one time and I like woke up to them like sitting beside me and watching me sleep. Okay, I'm getting like that vibe, but also like the vibe of like you just going about your things, your task, your life, and you like looking up and catching someone like full on just, they're like trying to dissect you with their eyes. They are certainly like studying you with their eyes. Their eyes are like locked on you. Okay, but we have eyes and doll. Eye and doll. Let's see what these symbols mean. Okay. Let's see what that means. Where'd my book go? I just heard, I can't remember what song it is. It's, Durs singing it, though, off of Workaholics. They're, like, saying something like, where's my bum? Where's my bum now? I'm just doing the rhythm, y'all. I don't know. I can't remember what he's saying. In that show, they, like, rap a lot, to talk. They, like, make up raps. They're really goofy about it, though. Like, Adam is, in one scene, Adam is, like, rapping, and he's, like, they're just having fun. They're, like, I forget what he says, but before this, but he's like, so I passed the mic to Blake. And then Blake is like, but I don't have nothing to say, so I passed the mic back. I forget what they say exactly, but it's like, they are totally goofing off. You have like fully embraced your inner child and you're not scared of looking silly, I'm hearing. Okay, so how people feel about you. The doll, illusion, old wounds, and childhood. I just heard succubus again. Okay, in the eye, seeking answers, seeing clearly, paying attention. All right, let's get into the literary messages. Literary messages, that's interesting. Ooh, I just got reminded. Go to the first book you think of and open up the page. There's a message there for you. Okay? All right, let's get into an oracle message for you. This is the last message we will get into. This is from your spirit team and your higher self. What do they want you to know? What do they want you to leave this reading with? I just got the image of a peacock too in my mind's eye, so maybe that's like relevant symbolism to you. I think freedom is like very important to you. And to the people who don't mesh well with you, like control is very important to them. Wow, how perfect. I love this imagery, like her little ferret she's holding, and if that's what it is. We have Emily Dickinson representing the soul. Let's see what her entry in the book says. Emily Dickinson, the soul. Spiritual life. Let me hold this up for you guys while I'm reading it. I will do my best to keep it in frame while I'm not looking. Spiritual life, the inner world, the unknown. Emily Dickinson, 1830 to 1886, spent her whole life in Amherst, Massachusetts. Refusing conventional religion in her prominent family's exhausting social schedule, she instead cultivated a unique spiritual and social life. She wrote long letters to friends, worked in the garden, and created strikingly original poetry about God, death, pain, and love. When Dickinson died, even those closest to her were shocked to find her life's work of 1,800 poems neatly folded in a drawer. Okay, that's... much of you remains unseen and will for, perhaps the entirety of your life. You all, pile 2, I'm going to leave your reason, I'm going to leave your reason right here. I'm going to leave your reading right here where we're at. I hope that was really helpful and informative and like reached you to your darn core. Okay. And for some reason I was just compelled to tell you like to strengthen your core, literally. Something coming through like about your sacral chakra there. Okay, it's gonna help you like create. Maybe do like some sacral chakra yoga or something if you're not like into like hardcore exercising. My little water babies. I'm gonna leave your reading off there though, and I hope you loved it as much as I did. I literally love your energy. I appreciate you for who you are. Okay, and so do others. Continue being the beautiful you that you are. If you enjoyed this reading, don't forget to leave a like and your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. And don't forget to subscribe so I can see you on the next one. Bye for now. Thank you so much for being here and for watching, for listening. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. Where we will be answering the question. How do people feel about you? I wanted to come in before I have everything set up because I was getting crazy amounts of downloads. So I'll say what was coming in and then I'll pause, set up the rest of our stuff, and then we'll come back. But I was hearing Pink Pantheress' song, "When you wipe your tears, do you wipe them just for me, 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 me?" I forget which title that one is. Sorry, I'm talking really fast, by the way, guys. I'm like, I will forget these if I don't get them out. I was also getting like, you make your own remixes to the songs you sing as you sing them. Okay. And I was hearing too, yeah. And also I was getting like, you have a lot of energy, but people find like your goofiness very sexy. Okay, let's pause there. Let me set up the rest of our stuff and then we'll come back into your reading. Okay, I have no idea what's gonna come out, but I'm having more stuff I had to come back in here for. Okay. I heard people say they're the last one and they just don't make them like that anymore. Okay, people are saying this about you. That's how people feel about you. All right, I'm just lighting my incense here now. And we will go ahead and just like start pulling cards. Okay. All right, you guys. Okay, what is going to come out with this energy? Let's see. Let's actually, I want to pull from this like qualities deck first. So let's see, pile 3. How do people feel about you? That's funny. I said, let's see, pile 3. On the bottom of one of my decks I have out, it says centipede. You have like a rhythm and flow about you. People don't expect it because people don't expect like your humor because of your appearance for some reason. You have like warm features. I'm hearing people may I just got the image of a husky and like gray eyes. Some people may find you to be airheaded, while others see like the method to your madness is what I'm hearing. Although it is coming out that you might be a clumsy person, but that has nothing to do with intelligence. That's a spatial thing. People feel like they don't know what to expect from you. It kind of scares them. Oh, and I forgot to put our crystal out because of all the craziness, but here we are. It can happen now anyways. Okay, this is the crystal I picked for you guys. It's a little speckled crystal or crescent moon. That actually looks like Saturn with the rings right there. I just noticed. This may be labradorite. I'm not totally sure. You are like groomed in a way that's like pleasing to the eyes, and you have some amount of experience that shows in your like your physical appearance somehow. So I don't know if it's like your eyes are very intense or you have this like wise aura about you. People underestimate though, because of your appearance, like your inner, like your intellect. People feel like you have a huge heart, but that you may be like an irresponsible figure. And I keep getting the image of like tan skin, okay? But that may just be it keeps coming back into those warm features, okay? We also have like dark skin coming out and suntan. So it's like it doesn't matter what your features are. Ooh, I love this. We have ethereal beauty coming up. People feel that you are ethereal, okay? You like and I'm hearing you capture like the gaze. And it's not that people feel like you're a follower per se, but they don't necessarily see you as someone that's a leader. So I'm feeling like your essence is very like subversive and it's like an undercurrent. People see you as someone who's like trustworthy. They don't think like you're scheming behind closed doors. Some people may find like your antics to be disrespectful. I'm hearing like you've internalized like some amount of shame. You've also over that, like people judging you because of how you express yourself. But please try to release that. You have a mesmerizing energy about you. I've also getting the sense that you have in your youth internalized like maybe what society could deem as like flaws. Okay, we have like chipped tooth in the reverse here. I personally, I don't know if it's a normal thing to say, but I personally love a chipped tooth. The look of a chipped tooth, like, I don't know why this is coming up like this, like that Tom Sawyer look. You know, there's something like childlike and innocent and adventurous about a chipped tooth, and also authentic. You have a very enchanting gaze. You know, I'm getting, oh, what's her name? The girl that sings the song, the part in that song is like, why did I hear it like this? It says gotta eat the booty like groceries, but I was hearing gotta eat the tushy like groceries. You know, I think that's part of your humor is like you're a goofball is what I'm hearing. And again, we have medium skin coming out. Like we've had dark skin, spray tan, and medium skin coming out. You have like sun-kissed features no matter your skin tone. I'm getting all the way into if you even have like super dark skin, you still have that like sun-kissed glow about you. Like you look moisturized. You are like ever present, and because of that, some people may like feel like you are like a little bit anxious. Like I'm hearing like a worry wart, but I just hear actually like you're highly considerate. You're someone who like maybe likes to layer their jewelry, I'm getting as well. And we have here rival, like people may feel just inherently like, you know, I'm getting like, you know the feeling of like maybe feeling jealous because, or like insecure, I'll say, feeling insecure suddenly about your looks because a highly attractive person is around or something. That's like how people feel about you. You know, you make people feel like they can't measure up to you. Like if you walk into the room, it's like, oh my gosh, oh, I'm hearing like showstopper. You're like a showstopper, especially to like the same gender as you. Okay, but you're actually like, you are truly a sympathetic figure. People just may not be able to get past their own insecurities to get to that point with you. Okay, and you flatter a lot. You're very charming. Ooh, we have coming out from this deck, Marigold, Pink Carnation, and Forget-Me-Not. Grief and jealousy. What did we just discuss? You know, you instill jealousy in others. You don't mean to. You know, you're actually a very loving person, but people can't get past your looks. Something, despite like your goofiness, and I feel like maybe your goofiness has been a way to get people to, it's like your way of being like, I'm not a threat. Okay? I'll never forget you, and true love memories do not forget me. It's like people, every single person that you interact with, their heart falls in love with you. They will never forget you, and they hope you remember them too. That's really sweet. They're hoping you know, people hope that they had the impact that you had on them, they had that on you. They hope that the way in which that you're unforgettable, they're unforgettable to you. But I'm actually sensing that it's kind of not the case. Not that that's a sad thing. It's just what they're hoping is like, that is like, that would be a validation for them that your guys' connection meant that much. But it did mean that much. It just meant different things to each of you because you guys had you were coming from different places and you had different needs and stuff. You know, as I was shuffling for these next cards, I was getting the image of Cinderella, and particularly actually like the presence of her fairy godmother. But we have coming out here Heart and Sleeping Beauty. People feel like you are pure of heart, essentially, you know, and I'm getting with the Sleeping Beauty thing. It's like we have Awakening, Feminine, Fate. The princess shall indeed grow in grace and beauty, beloved by all who know her. 3892 as the angel number on this. Positive progression. Stay true to yourself and be patient. You know, I was getting like the feeling of early in life, you may have been like a tomboy. You may have like expelled pink from your life. You didn't want to be seen as, for those who like embody feminine energy or are getting to the place where they embody feminine energy now, it's like you almost pushed that away as a child. I'm getting. Oh, and if I didn't say it, you know, I was specifically hearing tomboy. And I just heard like I actually just heard Princess Nokia, and it's reminding me of like Nokia phones and those earliest like cell phones. You know, so maybe that's the era when you were in like this tomboy vibe. And it's like you know, I'm getting like in this era you would have been highly interested. You still are, but like you play them less. But back then you would have been highly interested and engaged in like sports. Okay, I was getting like softball and soccer, like physical activity. I'm still getting like you're someone who's always on the move, but you have found ways to like feminize how it's coming through, like your action. Let's see what else. Pile 3. We have coming out physicist, laws, theory, universe, particle. I just heard entanglement. I can't remember exactly. It's like, ooh, it's like, you maybe felt really observed. Okay. In 1211 on my timer, as I say that, in your childhood or like in that Nokia era, you may have felt like highly observed, and like in that way you were like changing your behavior. And I think being observed was like something that you had to get used to. It was like a path you were meant to take in your lifetime. Because before it was something that would limit your self-expression. You would modify your behavior around like this observation of you. And now you actually remain in your natural state. You don't modify your behavior as much, if at all, to the observation of you. Okay, let's see if anything else wants to come out from this deck. And there's one more card. We have coming out doctor, accountant, writer. Okay. Healing care expertise, finance, precision management, communication, storytelling, imagination. You know, I feel like you had to take stock of, you know, you healing. I'm getting like you had to heal a divine feminine energy within you. You had to heal the feminine energy within you. It's going to lead to your abundance. You may have like a story to tell. I'm hearing like you've lived on both sides of the coin, and you have like a perspective to provide. Okay, communication is like really important in your storyline. But let's try and get back to how people are feeling about you. People feel like you're destined for greatness. And I actually wanted to say there was some point, and it may still linger about, where people felt like you were dissociated for some reason from this greatness. And as I was thinking that, we had the separation card come out. It wasn't clear as to what that was causing that dissociation, or if it was true, but it's what people felt like at one point, and it feels like it still lingers a little bit. Okay. So some people may view you as like taking your healing very serious in like a way that you seem serious, but you are like holding a guiding light for yourself at this moment. For you, it doesn't feel overtly serious at all. Okay, you feel like you're actually peeling away the things that were like confining your expression before, although it's different than what people are expecting from previous versions of you. It's taken a lot of energy to like transform, and I don't know why it's coming out like this, because I didn't feel like you were incomplete in any sense, but maybe this has just been a journey of you finding the totality of yourself and your image is how it's coming through. Okay, well, I lost my train of thought there, so let's keep moving on. How do people feel about you, Pile 3? Okay, your humor may be like really belligerent. I can't even say like what's coming through. I'm hearing like Chevy Chase, actually, like his humor is kind of in your face. So I just heard you know, I'm getting soccer imagery again, especially on this save. It's like, I'm hearing like you're like people feel like you're the goalie. And I'm also feeling like people feel like they can't get things past you. I'm just seeing you like dive every direction. It doesn't matter like where it's coming from. It doesn't matter if this thing is coming from like 40 feet up in the air. You are going to levitate up to that position in the sky to just knock that ball down. You make supernatural. People like kind of feel like you're a little bit supernatural in like your ability. You're a private person. And we have end and transform coming out here. It's like in some way, shape, or form. I'm hearing, I feel like it's to do with your career. I feel like this is confirmation, like you're in, not your final form, like you're done growing, but it's like you found the proper place for you. There's no more transformation to be done. You're in the right spot. We have light over heavy, deep over shallow, and storm over calm. I'm getting the image of someone who wants to go outside when it's like thunderstorming. You want to be in the rain pour, I'm hearing. You're not scared of, how's it coming through? How did the people say that? Torrential rain pour? I just saw like a shadow on my wall. Let me see if I can like twist this around. It's like really soothing. You know, you offer people like meditation. You give people stuff to think about. Like, you stir, I was just hearing sentiment, but you stir like the mind. You make people think. As I say that, we have Scarab. Okay, you may have, I was really being called to this gold here earlier. Particularly in pile 2, but it's coming up now in clarity. I forgot to mention it in pile 2. You may have like ties to Egypt spiritually. You know, maybe you look to like Egyptian deities. The scarab is like an Egyptian beetle. This represents spiritual awakening. Trust that your spiritual awakening transformation is leading you to a deeper wisdom. you help people like believe in themselves and like their highest path and purpose. You show people like the way to themselves. You are someone who shows people how to like connect to their, did I just say highest path and purpose? You connect people to their like higher self. Like mosquito with awareness. Be mindful of small signs. Like it's reminding me of someone like teaching their best friends like how to take notice to like synchronicities so that they can like conversate to the universe like you do. You teach people was it your pile that I said there's a method to your madness that people see? Like you teach people how to be mad. You know, I'm hearing the song, a very merry birthday to you, to me, to you, a very merry birthday. It's a song that the Mad Hatter sings and a very hilarious tea party scene off Alice in Wonderland. I love that scene so much. We also have cicada. Okay, you have people reflect, and if you think about cicadas, they like shed that shell. It's kind of crazy because like they're shedding like their legs and everything. Like everything is shed, even the eyeballs. Okay, it's like after people interact with you, they feel entirely changed. Okay, and it's like maybe before they felt like an unfeeling beetle. I don't know if beetles are really unfeeling, but they have this hard shell, and we can just say symbolically, this is how the energy is coming through. Before, these people felt unfeeling, and after you, they feel like they can fly. Okay, Orchid Mantis. This is a beautiful card out of this deck to land on in final. Beauty in deception. Appearances can be deceiving. Trust your instincts to discern the truth. It's like you teach people, again, about those synchronicities. Like you teach people how to, in here, trust the process. You teach people how to trust the process and how to listen to their inner voice so that they don't feel so lost around the way. Around the way. I don't know why it came out like that. It's like, you know, even with synchronicities and stuff, it can feel quite foggy. The spiritual intuitive path. But you teach people how to listen a little bit more closely so that they can keep taking the steps in the direction. I was just seeing Stephen King's The Fog. You know, it's like this thing comes in and it like envelops, and there's monsters and illusions and all this in the fog. You teach people how to like navigate safely through like treacherous mental territory, but it manifests into like all other areas of their life. You know, like the mind affects the heart, affects like our reality. Quite literally. The mind translates literally into our reality. Let's see what else, pile 3. How else do people feel about you? I'm hearing too, like you wear your heart on your sleeve. You're a really good teammate, and people want you on your team, their team. People want to be on your team. You kind of have a natural leadership quality to you, even if it took you all the way up until recently, maybe. You know, maybe you've always known you're a natural leader because you inherently find yourself in those positions. All right. I had to leave for a second because I just found like a random blister on myself that I had no idea I had. You know, I'm getting kind of like, I'm an Aries sun. I'm getting kind of like, you know, I'm getting an energy that reminds me of myself in some aspects, and like especially in my childhood where it's like just running wild, running without, like, honestly, I was getting like kind of tore up by nature. Like I have scars all over me and stuff because I was running without regard to my physical person. Like, you know, I was like the only thing on my mind was play, even if it was like causing, like, scarring my body in any way or anything. It doesn't matter. I was just like focused so much on play. All right, let's see how people feel about you. But anyways, I had to step away for a second and go put like Neosporin and a Band-Aid on this thing. Oh my gosh. But back then though, I didn't stop to tend to my wounds. So I have scars all over me. And yeah. Apparently that's like an Aries thing too, is having scars on them. I don't know if that is if there's a true trend there, but I have heard this. It is coming up as an energy here though. You are stopping though to tend to yourself more than you did before. Okay, people feel like you're someone who like, oh my gosh, I just got you know, if you're friends, I'm getting like Talladega Nights. It's like you are Ricky Bobby, but for every single one of your friends, you're Cal. Like, you celebrate them, you push them to win, and before you may have even sacrificed your own wins to get them to win. Now, you don't sacrifice your wins to get other people to win, though you still support them the same. You're there throwing the champagne around in the air, spraying it on them. And, but now, you don't take any losses for the sake of other people's winning. You know, you make sure you're winning too, because you are rightfully there on that. You know, I'm just seeing you with like the #1 trophy. That's your place too. You're someone who reflects a lot on their emotions. People feel like you're very reflective. And they also feel like you're someone who is willing to do the growth even when it's hard. Okay, you're someone who, like, you show up for training, okay? You show up for practice. You're seen as someone, people feel like you're skilled and you can fix or create anything. Okay, the Magician is coming out. We also have the High Priestess, which similar energy, but also different. You're known for your deep wisdom and intuitive guidance. It's like your High Priestess energy and your Magician energy. And then on the bottom of this deck, we have the Lovers coming out. You know, people see you as someone who exemplifies deep, supportive love and partnership. You're like, I just got the image of like, gym class. Oh, I'm also getting like, people make you what, you know, you let relationships kind of develop naturally, and you let people turn the relationship, you let relationships be what they will. You don't force things. So, you know, if people want to be on the opposing team, you just let them. You know, you're really just worried about playing, not competition. So people who see competition, you know, they're just not going to be on the same boat as you. You're okay with that though. Like, you're not worried about like getting everybody on your team. Although you wouldn't be upset if everybody was on your team. You're just not concerning yourself. Oh my gosh. You definitely have like leadership qualities. But what I was getting is like, you're a leader that other leaders really want on their team. So, you know, I was getting like, in gym class as a kid, like 2 children being picked, and then those children picking the people on their teams. For either of those teams, those people are both hoping they're the first ones because they want to pick you first. That's the vibe. Let's see how else people feel. You know, I just played this game last night for the first time. It was called Cookie Run on, I was playing it on my iPad, and this cookie is like trying to escape the oven basically of this like evil witch who's baking like, I guess, cookies. And you're like, it's like an old school Mario game where like the world is 2D and you're like just jumping in that. And this is what the gingerbread cookie is doing, but like as it was like sliding or jumping, it made like different expressions. You know, you have sort of like a very playful, though ornery and enticing energy about you. People feel that way. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. This inverted cross came out twice. People want to demonize you for some reason. People feel, yeah, I'm just coming back to that feeling of like something unnatural. And it's interesting because we have like this wooden cross that came out just once, but this inverted cross came out twice. Okay, and it's like, you are a cross. There's something about you that's quite holy and sacred and traditional, and like you honor that. You honor that process, okay? And also this is the first card that came out, just the cover of my deck. Okay. It's like, but there's nothing on the back of this card though. Okay. It's like people want to be scared of you for some reason. They may see like, ooh, I'm getting this scratched floorboards is like the vibe of like, there's some sort of sign of something that would instill fear in people. Okay, let's see if there's some more details on that we can get. Music box, cracked coffin, dollhouse, creaking floor, crystal ball, silver bullet, voodoo doll. Okay, so I'm getting like, you will stop at nothing to win. People are scared by like your commitment to your play. It's like it inherently comes off as being competitive. 30-30 on my timer as to say that. But you're just playing. People are like scared. I'm just hearing, sorry y'all, I don't cuss. I'm just hearing they are scared pooless, okay? Of like the fact that you're just playing and they feel like they are giving all their might. And also guys, I just want to say, just for clarity, like, because I do want this to be, I guess, I don't know, I want to connect with you guys. I don't cuss to keep my energy clear, okay? There's a lot of things I don't do to keep my energy clear. It helps me do, like, this better, okay? So I don't want you to think that you're not allowed to be yourself here. I accept you just as you are. I just felt like a warm embrace as I said that, and I just want to let you guys know, like, you are accepted here, and I don't want you to think, like, just because I don't do those things, I don't accept you, okay? I do the things that I do so that I can show up for you in the ways that I want to, okay? Which is like fully in with absolute purity on my end. It makes the messages come through better. I just didn't want you to think, I have to say that often in my, I don't have to say it often, but I do say it often when I'm explaining stuff that there's certain words that is like difficult for me to relay to you guys because of those reasons. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I love you fully, and you are free to express yourself however you feel is necessary. And I accept that, and I love that. Okay, let's see what else people are feeling for you. Oh, for you. You know, as I said that, I feel people, like, definitely have the hots for you, but it's like, what's that Amanda Bynes movie where it's like, she's like dressing up as a boy and she's like playing soccer. I forget what the premise of it is. She like falls in love with like Channing Tatum in this movie, I think, as she's like impersonating a boy. I forget why she's like doing this though. I don't know if it's like for a scholarship or she's like doing something for her brother or something. I forget what the premise of the movie is, but that's coming through. How do people feel about you, pile 3? You may love taking walks in the woods. And I get the sense that as a child you would do this. You were taking walks in the woods before you knew what hiking was. That's funny. You know, I just had the image too of a mushroom. And I'm being called back to Alice in Wonderland. That may be, like, a significant... There's a lot of symbolism there for you. Okay, we have, coming out of this deck, Moon Jellyfish, representing sensitivity and grace. You may have heard, pile 3, people talk about your grace. And it's interesting because... you may not, I feel like when you hear this, you're like, really? Like when people tell you you're graceful, and especially the first times, which now I'm feeling like you're more comfortable with that idea, but maybe you still struggle to totally see the ways in which you're graceful because you feel like, I'm coming back to that like Aries energy, and like embodying that energy feels not very graceful, to be honest with you. Like, But you may hear from people that you are graceful. Okay, that's what's coming through. You have an emotional sensitivity. I'm being called to, in the moon here, you know, you are pure of heart. I'm being called to how Aries is like the baby of the zodiac. You know, you, relay your needs in like a transparent way, and like, your emotions are very transparent, and you connect to people transparently. Okay, we have dolphin pot coming out. This is perfect because we've been talking about so much how you're like, you know, your energy is that calls upon you like a team. Like, people want to be a community with you, in community with you. They want to share like a sense of community with you. Okay, they want to connect with you socially. They want to share happiness and joy with you, do teamwork, and collaborate the intellect between you two. Connect your minds. Music may be like super significant to you. Like, I'm hearing like throughout your life, in childhood, today, when you're struggling, you may actually disconnect from music, and it's important for you to connect to music. So just remember that, pile 3. Music will soothe your energy. It helps you bring harmony to your life. It's a way for you to express yourself through art. We also have coral representing resilience and community. I'm getting like the image of like a person playing soccer again. Okay, and their hair is like kind of, it's pulled back in a ponytail. It's kind of frazzled. I'll just give you the full description. It's like blonde hair, kind of wavy, but like dirty blonde hair. And it's like pulled into a low pony, and it's like medium length hair, and it's kind of frazzled around the scalp from like sweat and heat. And you know what I'm really getting about that more than anything is like, if you don't have blonde hair, it's like you're in the sun all the time. You've always been in the sun. And if you haven't been, you need to get out in the sun. Remember how important that was for you as a child. Okay. It's like going to re-energize you, I'm hearing, just as it did back then. I just heard fountain of youth, okay, is outside for you. I'm getting the image of someone like running barefoot. But when it comes to this coral card, okay, resilience and community, I was seeing this girl playing soccer, and she has like grass stains and dirt stains, and like her skin is like, in some places, it's like peeled and kind of bleeding from her like sliding around on the field and stuff. She has no regard to her body in terms of like, she's just creating. She's just playing. Her body is like, it's there too, but she might as well just be the soul on the field. That's amazing. And we have coral crown. What? Are you kidding me? Coral and then coral crown. Natural royalty and leadership. You wear like your wounds, like you're a warrior. Okay, people, you're like, ooh, I'm hearing like Freya. You're like a beautiful warrior, okay? Authority from nature, leadership with grace again, wisdom from the earth, eco-consciousness. Okay, so the earth is like highly important to you. I just got chills like all over, everywhere when I said that. So you need to make sure you're going outside. I need to listen to this advice myself. I'm getting extra chills again. Okay, that was spirit coming through and being like, yeah. I just want to let you guys know, like, by the time I'm getting to your reading, I have, like, nearly finished a full chai tea with, like, 2 shots of espresso. It's reminding me of, like, earlier, especially, you know, all the way up until, like, my early 20s, really, and, I had this, like, kind of chaotic energy. Like, I was just, like, really wired, really, and, yeah, that's like, I'm kind of feeling that a little bit here. Let's see what else people feel about you. Ooh, I'm being called to this True Intentions deck. How do people feel about you, pile 3? Ooh, perspective. I value your opinion and would appreciate your unique approach to the situation. Yes. What else? What else? I'm getting, the image of cleats. Collaborate and growth. You know, I'm hearing like, you know, I'm not like I don't know much about basketball. And when I was growing up, people used to always ask me, do you play basketball? Because of how tall I am. Yeah, you may relate to that. I actually don't feel like I'm that tall, but maybe I was like tall as a child. People, you know, I'm getting like, you're like a basketball player on a team that's like they haven't won for a really long time, but when you get there, ooh, they knew when they drafted you, it was going to be a winning season for them, okay? They knew they were going to like hit the big time when they drafted you, and like, you know, people know that when you're on their team is going to like accelerate and excel. Okay, this collaborate card reads, we are aligned in our purposes. Yes, people want to be on your team. They share the vision with you. Let's combine forces and help each other succeed. Like, they want to get this trophy with you. They want to have, your banner up on, the building. They want to hold the trophy with you. Okay, it's a team thing. Growth. I will ignite a spark inside you, inspiring greater depth and expansion. Ooh, so people see what you have to offer them, and they know they have something to offer you too. Oh, wow. This is reminding me of some memories I have in gym class, actually. It's funny. You have a really sporty, like, you're like in the field, in the gym, and I'm getting images of like in the locker room. Okay, and I had like a couple of bullies that I dealt with like in middle school, particularly 8th grade. Okay, it was one of the last years I attended public school like in person. Freshman year of high school was the last time I attended school in person until my last semester of college. Okay. And but I remember there was these like couple of girls. They were very aggressive. And for some reason they just like did not mesh well with my energy, and like I felt very like attacked and targeted by them. But why I say that is because we have unfriendly. Keep your guard up. We aren't friends, and I might have a hostile attitude. I'm imagining just like their aggressive. I'm remembering their aggressive attitude. It just felt like unwarranted. But when you're on the field like this, there's gonna be another team. That's the thing. It's like when you're on the field like this, there is inherently, just, I don't know how better to say that. There's the other team. There's your team and the other team. And like, like I said earlier, you just come out here to play. Okay. It's like this other team came out here to slay. They came out here to kill. You're like, okay, wait a second. I wasn't wearing my guards and stuff for all this. Just different vibes. Some people take games very seriously, and you're like, you came here to play and have fun. Okay, yes, there's a competition contained within this, but like it becomes play. They're like, they only see competition. This other team is like, these people that are like not on your team view sport in that, I'm kind of getting like people who aren't on your team are bad sports. Okay, so this may be just a message for you. Strength without control is dangerous. Use your energy wisely. I had to definitely learn to harness my own energy, so I just wanted to share that with you. Maybe that's something you need to know yourself, like, in a pointed way, like, ooh, maybe I do need to utilize my energy a little bit more in a concerted effort. I just heard concerto. Like you have something, maybe you need to orchestrate a little bit more masterfully. Okay, you're the conductor. So this won't be a challenge for you. And also, you make competition look like play. This isn't going to be a challenge for you. We have showing up here the cat off of Coraline. The Shadow Guide, 444, protection, wisdom, and independence. People feel like, you have a team behind you. And, I'm getting the vibe of someone that like has a ritual before they do, like, they start the game. We also have people feel like you're the protector. When you're on people's teams, they feel like they're defended properly. Okay, and I'm coming back to that image of the goalie. Like, you protect wins. Oh, I just got chills when I said that. Okay, how else do people feel about you? I know people feel like you have just like a huge heart and you offer, okay, King of Cups was on the bottom of the deck. You offer like emotional stability and support. You're like people's rock, okay? But it's like rock of the heart. People know they can count on you. We have Ace of Pentacles coming out here. It's like when you're on the team, you ensure success. People know they're going to be bringing home the trophy because you always win. Okay, I'm being called to my little like lottery machine over there at 777. It's like you are a good luck charm kind of, I was just saying, you may have a ritual for good luck that you do. It's like other people's ritual of good luck is like having you on the team. You're not a bench warmer. I don't know why it came through like this. I just heard you're a field fire starter. You start fires on the field. You set that thing ablaze. Okay. Ooh, I like this for you actually, because it's like, you know what's yours. It's the win. And I don't get that it's like you win at all costs, but it's like, I am getting like how we talked earlier, like you win without disregard to possibly how you're beating up your body. And maybe that's I'm getting like that's maybe what you need to orchestrate a little bit more finely. You don't have to beat yourself up so bad to play is how it's coming through. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have the Lovers and Temperance coming out. I literally love that. Okay, and I'm getting 222. My personal value systems lead me to love, and I know my extremes. Now I seek peace. I'm coming back to that discussion we just had about like you don't have to beat yourself up so bad. It's like you've seen the extremes of like where you can push yourself, and I think you did that just for fun. I think you did it for fun and because you could. I'm getting the image of someone like running on gravel barefoot, like, it came to me psychically like a psycho. Okay, people may look at you and be like, "Good Lord, they're like tearing themselves apart." It's time for you to like, I'm seeing someone that's like an MMA fighter, like post-fight, like literally just swollen everywhere, dipping themselves into a bubble bath, like, oh my goodness. You're extremely fun, highly energized. I think you like to take walks to get to the places you're going. You have that much energy and like, you have excess energy, really. That's why I think it's important for you to find a way to orchestrate it, because you have like a high degree of potential. Okay. People feel very tempted by you. I'm like literally getting the sight, heat and smell of like sweat. Okay. Your sweat, like sweat on skin, and then feeling the heat off that and the smell of that. Like people are very tempted by like your physicality. People fantasize about you like sexually. You have like this calmness to you. You are very stoic and tranquil. It's really funny because like comparing that to like how battered you get in your play, it's kind of like there's a hilarity to it that you have this like there's a hilarity to your polarity. Oh my goodness. You have an inner calm though. I'm getting the vibe of like I don't know why this is coming through like this, but a Midwest boy. I don't know why that's coming through like this. But like quiet and almost like I'm getting the vibe of someone who's like world is fully internal. And then when you bring them out of their shell, they're like highly intellectual, highly funny, highly capable. Like that's the vibe I'm getting. Also corn. Oh my gosh. You guys. Okay. Let's move on to a different deck. I'll just say real fast, Ace of Swords. You came out here to, sorry y'all, slay the day. Okay. You provide like, I'm getting you like huddled in a group. You're huddled with your team and you're like the one who's like not only hyping them up, but you're giving the plans for like how to move forward. Okay, 48, 44 on my timer as I say that. It's like you break stuff down to make the magic happen. It's like, it's no big deal if the coach is, gone for a minute or missing, or you can easily step into that position. Okay, let's see what else. How do people feel about you? Paltry. Ooh, I just got the image too of someone that like likes to hang out in an empty field. I'm getting soccer field again. There was just one by my house as a child, even though this is a separate time than when I played soccer. That's interesting. I've never correlated that. But, you may like to hang out in empty, like after hours fields and playgrounds, or you did at one point, particularly in that Nokia era. I forget if that was this pile, but I believe it was. Yeah, because I was like, you know, that's probably when you were feeling like a tomboy, maybe. Let's see what else. How do people feel about you? People feel like you're like a really reliable friend. That you like kind of stand out in a crowd because of your stoicism. Okay? Like, I don't know why this is coming up like this, but I'm getting like a boy band group now, and it's like one of them is like really quiet, and that's you, and like, oh my gosh, people go crazy over you. They're like, oh, he's so mysterious. People might see you. We have anger management coming out here. You may have like, people may feel like you have, I'm just hearing like the bull within you. I'm seeing a face get red too. People may feel like, yeah, and I'm hearing like a coach like screaming in a locker room. You know, you may have like no tamed nature about like your roar. Basically, you're like whatever it takes to motivate, whatever it takes to be serious. And at the end of the day, this is all play. So don't take it too seriously. So when it comes to your family, you may have people. There's people in your family. You have, a lot of family issues. You face estrangement, sibling rivalry, and that's interesting. You know, sometimes it's like some of the people that were on the other team were siblings. And you also face parenting challenges. Because of all that you've, you know, it's interesting because you're so team oriented. Wow. I want to hold like both of your hands right now and just, I don't know, like connect our heart spaces together and then let go of one hand and freaking run through the field. Okay. Just like charge. You may have had though, like, because you're so team oriented and like, it's like your immediate family was like on the other team. You have like imposter syndrome about like your being, like your place on the team, like your deserving nature on the team. People also feel like you've been like discriminated against in some way or another, and they feel like you've changed your emotional landscape over time. And you know, it's interesting because I was saying earlier, like, you're kind of learning how to nurture yourself more at this point. Like, there was one time when you maybe, like, dispelled feminine qualities about yourself because you were so action-oriented. It's like, anything, like, girly just wasn't resonating at that time. But, you're learning to, weather the storm is what I'm hearing, okay? It's not all about action. You're learning how to be receptive. People also feel like, and I'm getting like, this is particularly like people who are on the other team. People feel like you are like, a perfectionist, and perhaps you are, but how they're seeing it is like, you're the one who will win at all costs. You're the one who's competitive. They're kind of projecting on you, out of insecurity, because it's like, they don't want to lose to you. So it's like, you drive people to do their worst is what I'm hearing. What else, Spirit? How do people view pile 3? You have a very soft, fun energy. Like, I would love to, this is interesting. We have corridor coming up. I was just going to say, I would love to, like, you know, you have the sort of energy that I would have loved to had a sleepover with when I was younger. You know what? With the right friend, I'll have a sleepover right now. But we have corridor showing up, okay? It's like, I'm getting with you that people may not realize this, but their relationship with you is what they make it. People that are highly competitive make competition out of you because you're naturally like a winner. No offense. But you know, because of that, people kind of get stopped short at what they could make the connection. But you know what? I'm glad for you that you're not on the other, like, you know, I don't think, there's people who don't deserve you. So, I mean, this isn't new news to you. So, I'm just saying, I'm glad for you that, like, you know, you're coming to a place and you're developing, like, the field for yourself where you're recognized and acknowledged, like, in your totality and also correctly. Ooh, I love this. On the bottom of the deck, okay, so underlining energy to you, your conviction is your armor that says, stand firm in your beliefs. I just heard 10 toes down. People still, ooh, that's interesting. People feel, people want to knock you off, like, your strength. But people, I forget what I was going to say originally there. We have coming out Napoleon Bonaparte, Rasputin, and Confucius, the teacher of order, the shadow mystic, the mastermind. Okay, let's see what's calling to me out of this. Discipline, legacy. People feel, especially like with this shadow mystic, you know, it keeps coming out that you have a lot of power to you, okay? But some people see this as like an overreach, manipulation. I'll share like the teachings of that these cards have to offer. So Confucius, tradition and respect create stability. Rasputin, charisma and intuition bring influence. And Napoleon Bonaparte, take decisive action. Okay, even if you are just a team member and not a team leader, I think it's crucial and like imperative that you still lead in some sense. Like I'm getting the sense that like there may be a manager above you, okay, just for this, like for the sake of like getting out this analogy, but you're like the senior. Okay, so it's like you have people underneath you even though there's someone above you leading you. It's like you may be looking to higher forms of guidance outside of yourself, but you have a lot of people that look to you. People feel, wow, we have legal issues, dealing with fines and penalties. Also peer pressure and social anxiety. Social anxiety, peer pressure, dealing with fines and penalties. Ooh. You may have been like, you know, especially with that imposter syndrome before, you may have felt like you didn't fit in. You may still feel like you don't fit in, but you're like more confident in that now. I'm getting, you know, especially with like your stoicism. You embody that more like fully now, and like you have a clarity about it, like you see it clearly. It's not just like a place you're pushed to, it's like a place you choose to be. And but anyways, like this imposter syndrome before, it like may have made you feel socially like anxious, especially because, you know, society comes with conformity that's like expected and demanded. This led to like peer pressure, especially when you were younger, and you had to learn like in ways that you lost like yourself and perhaps like your integrity, or, you know, it's like you realize like the people that are on the other team for you, because you're so honest and heart driven and you are a good sport. It's like when people need you to conform, they're like asking you to lose yourself a little bit, lose your integrity, ignore your heart, ignore your values. Yeah, bottom of the deck, boundary setting. Okay, so you had to learn like, you know, not everybody is on my team. And that's okay. Like, you know, you're like, okay, you're like inherently like want everybody. It's not that you want, it's like you don't see there being a reason why everybody can't be on your team. So you had to learn like kind of the hard way. Like some people just aren't, just won't be there with you. People feel, we have the Four of Swords and the Empress coming out. Okay, 3, 4. 34 may be important to you. 7 may be important to you. You know how to like rest and relax. I'm getting the image of like an ice bath. The ways in which you recuperate because you push yourself to territories and places where people don't, not everybody is pushing themselves in the way that you do. It's like even the ways in which you relax may be like work for other people. That's kind of interesting. You know, not everybody would find an ice bath refreshing, but an athlete that's like really going at it is definitely going to find that refreshing. So you can't get some people to step into an ice bath for the life of them. So that's just perspective I have, I guess, about like your ability, really. Like, even in the ways that you rest, you kind of like exceed what's typical. People feel like your solitude is really important for you and that you've evolved a lot. You are someone who's grown a lot and will continue to grow like your whole life. Like, people know like the you that they see now isn't the you that they're going to see at the end of your guys' lives. Okay, and the Empress, we have coming out here the Empress, which is really important in this reading because we've been talking about how like you're coming back to terms with like your divine feminine, getting into touch with, you know, your Empress energy. This is just confirmation, though, that you're on the right path if you haven't already arrived there. Okay, it just takes a good amount of nurturing. You need to reparent yourself, okay? Or you had to. Okay, are you serious? We are literally, I have to check. We're at the end of our reading. We have, so I'm going to pull some signs and symbols, okay? This is the last word on how people feel about you, and then after that we'll end off the reading with a little message from Spirit. Okay, so let's see. Final message. How do people feel about you, pile 3? We have Praying Mantis and Ghost. Let's see what these have to say. You know, I'm getting the image too of like on the go, like sporty foods like beef jerky sticks and Gatorade and, you know, kind of processed foods, but like foods you would take like on a sports bus to, like, you know, you're like trying to power up essentially and hydrate on the go. Okay, so Praying Mantis and Ghost. We have Ghost here representing memories, what haunts you, unfinished business. So some people feel like they have unfinished business and that you haunt them. Okay. Praying Mantis, wit, manipulation, fun. That's perfect. You know, some people see you as like the playful character you are, and then some people see you, like, especially those on the other team, they're gonna be like, you know, they're only gonna see you for their shadow. You're like an obsidian mirror. You know, you reflect back to people purely, you know, you reflect back to people like in totality, like their shadow. So sometimes, you know, you get that, but then you receive that feeling, you know, you're working on like not letting it stick to you. You've been through it so much, but maybe what you're not so aware of is like it actually boomerangs back to people. Okay. All right. What do your spirit guides, your higher self, what message do they want to leave you off on, pile 3? I just heard go have fun. You know, keep being yourself. Stay devoted to the game of life. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna pick up this one that landed on the ground first because it is calling me. Fora Ferrixod. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, you guys, but Fora Ferrixod, perhaps. Rebellion. Okay, let's see what this has to say. I'll pick up this. Let me see what these other ones. Okay, I'm feeling compelled to read all 4 of these, even though I only pulled 1 for all the other piles. So, well, let me just show you the imagery. Okay, you may have seen this, but I can't remember. Here's the first one we pulled. We'll go over each of these in our book. Second one, Anna Akhmatova, Endurance. Virginia Woolf, Vision. And finally, Alejandra Pizarnik, Solitude. Okay, and we actually had, okay, all of them just fell. I'll show you the imagery on these ones as well, just in case. And we can go over their names and their keywords, but we won't go over, like, their messages. Oh, I love how there's, like, little fairy guys flying around. Janet Frame, Belonging. Angela Carter, Identity. Ooh, I love this. Belonging, Identity. You know, we talked about imposter syndrome earlier. Anne Carson, The Intellect. And Audre Lorde, Justice. Ooh. You know, you had to master the mind to arrive at a sanctuary of self, I'm hearing. Okay, so let's go over these cards here. Okay, so for Fora, we have rebellion, independence, barriers, isolation. She wrote sensual, nature-rich poetry, placing her among Iran's greatest poets, heavily criticized for resisting societal norms. Farrokhzad, divorced at 21 years old, was the first Persian poet to write explicitly about sexuality, worked as a documentary filmmaker, check out the award-winning The House is Black, and adopted a son from a leper colony. Some believe that she prophesied her accidental early death in a car crash in the poem Let Us Believe in the Beginning of the Cold Season. Okay, next we have Anna Akhmatova, Endurance. Okay, her keywords are staying with pain, avoiding pain, and patience. Let me hold the cards up while I read them for you. I'll try and keep them in frame. Born in 1889 and passed away in 1966, she was celebrated during and beyond her lifetime for her lyric, melancholy poetry. As Russia fell under Stalin, Akhmatova and her circle of artists and intellectuals were persecuted for their work. Her son was imprisoned and sent to labor camps, and her husband was executed. Akhmatova's famous poem, Requiem, is her boldest attempt at capturing the Stalinist terror. You know, that's reminding me, like, you know, you're an artist just creating, you're just playing, and, like, you're, like, persecuted for, like, merely existing. Virginia Woolf, Vision. Okay. Her keywords are developing a vision, innovation, and limitations. She was born in 1882 and died in 1941. She helped usher in a major new literary movement with her stream of consciousness fiction, which focuses intensely on the experience of awareness and moves fluidly among the inner lives of its characters. Her personal life, child-free, sexually liberated, and incisive feminist essays were no less radical. After a lifelong struggle with mental illness, Woolf put stones in her pockets and stepped into the river near her Sussex home. And lastly, we have Alejandra Pizarnik, Solitude. Let me just locate her in my guide. Okay, her keywords are silence, interiority, and space. Born to Russian Jewish parents in Argentina, she was born in 1936 and passed away in 1972. Wow, she passed away very young. Was educated in both Yiddish and Spanish, but wrote in Spanish. Her poetry of imagistic purity and surrealist influence summons themes of silence, absence, madness, and death again and again. Ooh, I like finishing on this with you. You know, this is bringing me back to, like, your Mad Hatter energy. You know, in Alice in Wonderland, she's, like, kind of entering a void there. Her own struggle with depression led to an intentional overdose of Seconal at the age of 36. Already idolized by Spanish-speaking writers, her genius deserves a global readership. Okay, I'm getting, like, don't stop your journey short, because you are deserving of recognition, and it's due to come. Okay, so pile 3, I'm going to leave your reading off there for today. I'm picking you to be on my team, okay? I hope that was helpful for you. And I hope it touched your heart and your minds. If it did, don't forget to leave a like. Your thoughts in the comments below so I can read them. And don't forget to subscribe so I can see you on the next one. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, and for listening. Bye for now.